ready for another lesson?
One familiar face over there is Mr. Tyler Vidalis. I don't have a name for you this week. There's nothing to rhyme with or pull from. I guess we could do. We could have pulled from, I guess, the supposed to be review. Anything T in that movie? What? Baltic Tie. What sea were they in? Was it,
The North Sea.
is that the Baltic? No, that's not the same.
I don't
thing.
know. They're
That's
just
not,
called
that's
the
not
North
the same
Sea.
thing. Baltic is the like Mediterranean, isn't it? The Balkans.
Let's just do
Is that how that would
saturation.
go?
Saturation.
That is not close.
All right.
Oxygen tank,
I was-
Tyler, maybe?
You know
no,
what?
we could just do saturation tie.
That was at least a good educated guess.
Yeah.
You could see that bridge there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like Baltic, Balkan. Like
Sure.
If you saw it on a map, you'd be pretty surprised where those are at.
I believe it. No, I absolutely believe it. I never said that with any confirmation that I was confident in what I was making that like analogy to.
I believed you, though. I believed you.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's
yeah,
Tyler
I'm
Vidalis.
going with like saturation tie
Okay.
or saturation tank tie or something like that.
Okay. That's
what we're going with.
Tank tie.
Sure. Air tank tie.
Air tank tie.
Cool.
Tyler Vidalis joins us today. These two new faces to our left, of course, Mr. Justin Vidalis and Mr. Ryan Foley, familiar friend of the pod.
Yeah, familiar name.
Familiar
frequently
name.
Referenced person.
Frequently referenced.
Cough, number one fan, cough.
Potential alleged number one fan. Mr. Ryan Foley joins us as well today. How are you doing, fellas? Welcome to the show as the first ever guests of Back Row
Yeah,
Banter.
first ever guests. We didn't even start with one. We just jumped in with two. And Nathaniel and our dear friend Blake, dear friends, just couldn't swing it this week. And it's Friday, which is weird.
Friday. We don't usually record on Fridays.
Yeah. Fridays tend to turn into hang out at Tyler's house, and since nobody could make recording throughout the week, I was just like, I threw it out there. I was like, let's do it in person.
Yeah, we had
And
some schedules misaligned this
Yeah.
week for Blake and Nathaniel. Doesn't matter. You know, we're happy to have you guys here. They're worthy fill-ins, and we had the opportunity to have our first ever guests, 200 and so episodes in.
Yeah,
we thought we'd
and then
jump on.
Real
also-
excited to be here, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate it.
you guys
And
can
then-
talk at some
yeah,
point.
Yeah.
No, we can chime in, and we're waiting to chime in.
All right. Well, we're just gonna keep tossing back and forth. So,
Let's go.
all right.
And then it's really cool that we're also able to put this on film, which we don't get to do very often.
Yes,
So
that as well.
that'll be pretty fun to watch. So
digital
yeah.
video, not necessarily film, but
Yeah, no,
you know how
it's
expensive it would be
it's
to
a 9
film a
millimeter
podcast
Yeah,
on
it's 9
film?
millimeter. Yeah, we're good.
35 millimeter be sweet.
again, do you know how expensive that would
Your
be?
college degree is kicking in right
We're
now.
fine.
That would be pretty darn expensive. Where would you even get film for a 9mm?
I don't know. That's why
Gotta be a special
it-
ordered.
I'll call Bill Murray. He knows a guy.
You got a guy who knows a guy?
Yeah.
I
He's
don't think
connected.
you can get that on a Best Buy discount. I don't think they sell 9mm film.
No, it's cool. Bill and I are tight.
Is
Bill
back at Best
doesn't
Buy?
work at Best Buy anymore.
No, Bill Murray.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I said Bill Murray.
Okay.
Bill
Yeah.
Murray's been to a few Best Buys for sure.
Yeah, we're good.
Funny story. Alex once saw Bill Murray at work and really wanted to say hi to him, and she couldn't bear herself to do it. And then I told her the story about how I met Bill Murray when I was 4 years old and got to fist bump him when they were filming Groundhog Day, and she did not believe me until my mother told her all about it. So
True, and I
True
think
story.
you had I don't know if you still have it, but I think you had Harold Remus's autograph at one point.
that is correct. I did. I kept calling him Egon, and he thought that was quite funny.
Well, it's true.
He's Egon. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. It's Egon for sure.
I had just seen
100%.
Ghostbusters 2. I think that Christmas I got everything that was Ghostbusters
Yeah,
related. Thanks,
of
Mom
course
and Dad.
that's
Thank
of
you.
course that's who he is to you.
And so it was awesome. Like, how often does that
Yeah,
happen?
it's
as a
like
child?
Ben Affleck to Batman for me. Like it just makes sense.
Is
It's who
that your go-to Batman?
it's who I grew up with. It's he's
Who I grew up with.
You grew up with Bat Flag. What is with you and growing up at? Your joints are still growing. Yeah, Bat Flag was your childhood Batman somehow.
Michael Keaton's definitely my childhood Batman for sure.
Boomer take.
True.
It's not a boomer take.
It's kind of boomer.
It's
take.
aging. It's revealing.
Yeah.
That's
Listen,
what I'll say.
I
It's
also
revealing.
do like Robert Pattinson. I did like the Batman. I think
I
that
really
movie's
do.
absolutely awesome. So
I think Christian
by
Bale
the way,
is mine.
Sure.
Has to be. I mean, now I 8 to like I don't know. The first one came out with, like I don't know. Those are just the Batman movies that were coming out when I was like very young and would watch a lot.
No matter the Marvel movie, we always just whip out Dark Knight. You know what I mean?
You can't. There's not.
Can't.
There's very few times I would say I don't want to watch that movie.
Right.
yeah, but then again, no, if you really like watch it, it's not like a full-on comic book movie. It definitely plays to like the realism. So he's like, he's like Batman, but he's Batman, but not like Batman in the comic books.
I know it's like pretty slept on, but like
No, but I
Clooney
like
is
it.
honestly one of the ones that I really that I really did grow up with.
No, you did if you think about that.
Yeah, and then you get fucking I'm blanking on his name and I shouldn't, as the Riddler.
Oh, Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
For sure.
Yeah,
Batman
sorry.
Forever.
And yeah, so like that's realistically that's what I did grow up with.
Val Kilmer.
And yeah, Val Kilmer.
rocked in that movie.
And then you got Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dr. Ice, Mr. Ice.
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze, Dr. Cool,
Victor Freeze.
Dr. Cool. And
I'm sure at one point he went by Dr. Cool. He's like, I'm gonna run with this one for a while.
he breaks through the door. Yeah.
There's
It's like, no,
Dr. Cool.
someone's already doing this. It's the
with
Kool-Aid
the
guy.
state of the MCU and the multiverse,
No.
anything's possible, ladies and gentlemen.
That's true.
What is like
Except
Dr.
those are
Cool's
DC.
background though? It's definitely not like Mr. Freeze's background.
No, it's him in college probably. Just Victor Freeze in college is just Dr. Cool.
You guys think the MCU can ever recover? We had this conversation on Pod. A
I
couple weeks
mean,
ago.
I don't know.
I had it
think
with you
you're-
guys while I was listening to the pod.
Yeah?
I was like,
Yeah.
what
my
were you
God.
saying?
I would honestly say I did like Captain America. It wasn't bad. I think it was a better direction than what they've been in.
You probably have to speak
Yeah, I
to
was
the
gonna
mic.
say,
more.
you gotta-
I think
Yeah.
it's a better direction with Captain America. But then what's the other one that's coming out? The Thunderbolts, right?
Thunderbolts.
That does look pretty good. I honestly think that's a step in the right direction as well. And Daredevil's first episode is pretty fucking good.
first two rocked.
I was gonna say I didn't watch the second one, but Leah and I started
That's all
last
I'll say.
night. So
It's really
We can
good.
get into
So
it
I
a little
think
bit
there's
in a little
some
bit
things
here.
that are happening. I think they're
Yeah.
trying to figure stuff out. Like you got to do these things, release these things.
you probably got to talk in the mic.
You got to release these things over time. I'll get this down. I
No,
promise.
I mean, okay. I was looking at that bar. They're hearing you enough to like.
Yeah,
do
they can
that.
probably hear you. It's just
But
kind
it-
of sounds
yeah,
like
you
you're.
gotta. Yeah, if you want.
You know, like when you're playing games with the homies and like you can tell they're far away from their mic. It
Or,
kind of
yeah,
probably sounds
one of-
like that.
Yeah, and one of them's quieter than the other.
Ryan is hovering around the mic pretty heavily. I don't know if anyone can see it. On
I
the
just-
video.
it's really-
He's
I
trying
don't-
to suck the mic off.
I really just think it's you're just not used to talking into a microphone.
No, I can talk into a
No,
microphone.
I know you
problem.
can.
No, I
Obviously,
get
you
it.
can, but I'm just
But
saying.
Ryan was like,
And it is hard because you do have to like lean forward. If I was
It
in
is
that
annoying.
scenario,
I'm
I'd
trying
probably
to
would.
give Ryan the space when
Yeah.
he's talking, not to like hover around it.
Yeah.
Like Ryan.
Some
is.
people might think that the couch is probably the best like comfortable
no,
spot
it's
in here,
not.
but unfortunately because of the mic placement, it is not.
No, yeah, recording even at Back Row HQ.
Tough
Tough
Tough sometimes,
The,
yeah.
the couches.
That's why I
if
get
you've
there as
gotta
early
lean
as I do,
forward-
Do you call
because I'm
dibs?
just gonna get the best spot. Because I just comfortability is huge for me.
You have to call dibs at the headquarters. You have to call dibs on a spot.
It's just really
Not
kind of first
really.
come first serve.
Yeah,
Word.
and I've
Yeah.
got to be next to the mixer, and then Nathaniel. Nathaniel gets whatever spot he wants, obviously, and then I'm next to the mixer, which is also on the couch next to him. But then like he doesn't have an extra. I mean, you can go and see the video of the two that we've done in his apartment, but he doesn't have an extra like mic arm like this one.
It's like a.
It's more of like an instrument mic
Yeah.
mount where it's like
It's stationary.
It's
It
stationary.
only has the one pivot point.
Yep, exactly. So
And it's only got
and it's
one
got
for
a
the-
stand. It doesn't
Yeah.
attach to anything. So like I have to like get it on the side of the couch and I have to pull it all the way over, but it's not balanced enough. So we have to find something to
Yeah.
weigh it on the other side. We wrap the cord all the way around and then have to like put something over it so it stays. But yeah, I don't know. Long story.
Well, hey,
short,
I'm down.
it's
I'm down to
annoying
do
and it's hard.
this whenever you guys want.
Yeah,
It
and then
seems like it's a
Nathaniel
lot
and Blake
easier.
can sit
100% easier in here. It sounds like it's a maze at current HQ.
What do you mean? Sounds like a maze.
The way you just described how you had to do all that to make all that work.
No, it's not a maze. It's
You know the game Mousetrap?
More of a puzzle. More of a
It's
puzzle.
kind of like where like there's like cages coming down from the ceiling and you might get trapped in there, and then like it's kind of like that. Like that game board is like the the room.
That's what I was kind of getting.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where I was kind of going with that.
You don't know if you're gonna like walk out of the kitchen and just like something's gonna come, like a cage is gonna drop on you. You're like, oh my god, I can't get back.
Yeah, this is the least ratchet the podcast setup has ever been.
Yeah, this looks pretty. I think I'll take pride in this.
Yeah.
This is Vidalis HQ.
Yeah.
This is. It turned out pretty good.
Now,
And
I know
we'll go from there.
I know you said you were going to put a bedroom down here, but I do remember when you were looking for a house that you did promise us a studio space.
Yeah.
So we're
sitting in it, man. We're sitting in it.
Where is that?
The way that the basement can get split up, we're probably gonna end up putting like 2 rooms in here.
All right.
So like we're gonna probably like from where that green pole is to
right.
like the middle of the TV, we're probably gonna put like a really big, like a full wall, but keep it open with like 2 massive like pocket doors.
Okay.
So it still feels like one room when you're hanging out in here.
Oh, so you can open it up into like kind of one
Exactly. And then this will be like an actual room. And so like until we have to fill this room, like, you know, with a person, then that'll probably end up being like my gaming and our kind of like studio.
All right.
Because I would love to.
It's excellent in here, by the way.
Thank you. I would love to continue to, and the more we do end up coming here, if that's a thing at some point, then I'll want to invest more in people being here comfortably. So it's just kind of one of those things where we got to make the juice worth the squeeze.
I think Tyler's gonna buy a new couch. He's gonna buy a new couch.
No, but this thing's great. Fuck a
It
couch.
is nice. This is a huge love seat.
And honestly, the
chair.
couch would be comfortable and totally fine if we had mic arms.
Side arms. Yeah,
Or
100%.
even 4 microphones.
Yeah. Yep.
That'd be very awesome. Like you just got it at him.
Yep. This is just his first episode. He's like, yeah, that'd be fine. And, you know, I guess this is fine.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Pieces of shit. How dare you guys set me up in this? He's like, where the fuck are my M&Ms?
I did demand some M&Ms. Adam promised me them, and he's yet to deliver.
You said all
I
yellow.
don't remember saying anything about M&Ms.
You said it upstairs earlier. Like, yeah, I'll get you
You
some
said no
M&Ms.
TiVo?
I'm glad I finally get that.
Happy to
reference.
hear that you love Tropic Thunder, by the way.
Yeah, no, man, it was
Happy
good.
to hear that.
It was really good. I really
That
liked
went
it.
high, dude.
I
54,
absolutely
I think,
love
on
that
the
you love
list.
that movie, honestly.
I was the
Seriously,
one
one
that
of the
pulled it
funniest
up.
movies ever.
What'd you say?
It's one of the funniest movies
Yeah,
of all time.
no,
hands down.
I can see that now. Like
It
I
will go
totally,
down
I'm
as
not.
a
That's not a hot
classic.
take. I don't think that's not
No.
a bad take. Yeah.
It's like, come on, you know that.
Right.
As soon as you're in, you're like, you're invested. You're in.
Yeah. No, it's good. Oh, the acting's great. The lines, they kill it, bro. The whole movie, they kill it.
True.
Fellas, what you guys been watching recently? Talk about it. Yeah.
I have been watching mostly Yellow Jackets. Started Daredevil.
What is Yellow Jackets? Tell me.
Yellow Jackets is a TV show about
I don't care.
these.
I don't care. Move on. Move on. I don't care about Yellow Jackets. No, I'm kidding.
That's so rude. Excellent show, by the way. No, it's this show where these girls are going on a soccer. They're like a national soccer team trip, and they're going on it, and they're going over like the northern territories, like near Canada, and the plane goes down, and some of the girls survive, and there's like 2 guys that survive, but all in all, there's only like 15 girls that survive, and they resort to some absolutely ballistic shit because they are lost in the woods and they have no way out.
I'm lost.
Is it Lord of the Flies type?
Oh, dude,
Okay.
very much
All right,
Lord of the
all right.
Flies, but it's teenage girls and their one coach that's like left.
So is like
Okay.
the team called Yellow Jackets?
That is correct.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm like, where the fuck does this come? Because
Yeah, they get that-
as soon as I hear Yellow Jackets, I think of a high school
Right. Yeah,
mascot.
the high school soccer team, for sure.
And
Juliette
they-
Lewis, friggin' Christina Ricci's in it. Solid cast.
Okay. What is this streaming on?
This is on Paramount Plus. So,
I think I just canceled that.
Hilarious.
you should definitely get it back because
Paramount Plus and Peacock are the 2 where I'm like, I'll just buy a month and cancel. But when I need it, buy a month, cancel. The only one I really keep going.
I'll make a new Xbox account just to get the free month.
Exactly.
Maybe you won't do that.
If you know, you know.
I know. I was there. I was gaming, man. I was gaming since I could hold a controller.
The struggle was real at one point. You got to keep making those Xbox accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Yeah. Man. What else?
Any more, Justin?
Yeah,
Any more?
Daredevil.
Yeah, Daredevil. I just started
that was
Daredevil. Was
good?
pretty excellent.
Okay.
I highly recommend.
Now,
like I said.
I know it's still Charlie Cox. Is that his name?
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, it is still Charlie Cox.
Now,
Largely the same cast.
do
all
they
in all.
is this a fresh start for Charlie Cox in the Daredevil role, or is it a continuation of his previous run as that character?
Continuation.
It's a continuation
continuation.
for
Yep.
sure. And
So
it's-
those seasons are canon technically, or no?
yes,
Yep.
those seasons
Okay,
are technically
okay,
canon for
okay.
that. Yep.
Now they weren't when they came out, though, right?
Well, no, they had like the Defenders that were part of it, and they were like lightly
Okay.
referenced the Marvel universes in a whole.
Yeah,
but they
especially
never
because
were,
like some of the
in it.
shows that did come out were canon and some of them weren't.
Yeah, like
Because I
Agent-
think Jessica Jones always was, but Luke Cage wasn't, or somewhere along those lines. Like the line just got very blurred. But once they made the Defenders, it kind of like it was kind of like insinuated that like, okay, now it is canon, even though nobody's ever like said it's canon.
Right.
But the first run is like some of the best action superhero TV that
I've
I've
seen
ever
some
watched.
clips that I enjoyed.
Because it was
I've
like
seen some clips
so
of
good.
that show.
yeah,
So
because
good.
it was also like when like all the Green Arrows, the Flashes, when those like stopped. So this was like kind of the first major like superhero show that came out, especially for the Marvel side of things. To where like we were like, okay, like let's see if you got it. And this was probably one of the best ones.
All right.
Period.
Yeah.
And like they went on for a long time. It wasn't like
I know there is quite
Hawkeye,
yeah, right.
where it's
I know
like
a
one
lot.
season in December and then it's over, or
No,
like
there's like 4 or
Loki
5
where they
seasons,
like
wasn't it?
push one out every 3 years, and so it's just kind of like it was so good.
They carried Marvel for a while for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's right after Blade, but before / during the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And then it's just kind of like, oh, like what do we do here with all these different universes going on? Like Zack Snyder's Justice League, the same thing. Like,
Dude, so good. Best
Yeah.
4 hours of my life, honestly.
I know you guys hate it. I love it. I love it. I do.
You know what? His 4-hour-long movies are
This is
some
not-
of
this
the, are
is not what I
so
expect
great.
on
We
this
just
pod.
absolutely love all of them, Ryan.
I'm a DC guy though. I waited so long for that movie. So long.
and
You're
it's
disappointing
not any
me.
better, you know.
I
And
mean,
just
no, you can't say that. It is better. The only thing that
Yeah.
doesn't make it better is the 4-hour runtime. And honestly, if you can't get past it, then you're just not a fan anyways, and it's fine. But it does genuinely add to Justice League. It does make Justice League a better movie, but that doesn't make it any more watchable than what it was before.
No, I
because it's
know,
4
I know,
hours.
I know.
So
And
it's a pretty
that's
bad
true.
trade-off.
Yeah, it
It's kind of like like
But the
you
other
could have a
movie
shit
was-
sandwich or shit soup, but either way, it's kind of shit.
That's
so
all
it's
we
like
had. That's all we had though.
I know.
Shit
say
soup.
This, the original movie is absolutely unwatchable. It's a terrible movie. But you are right. When they redid it, even though Tyler's right, it's 4 hours long. But Batman vs Superman, didn't they do like a redux of that one? And that one was really good, and people like that one a lot more.
yes, Zack
'cause it
Snyder
makes
cut
way more
of
sense.
Batman Superman was also pretty good, and it was good because it also didn't add an extra hour and a half to the fucking movie.
Don't you just wonder what Zack Snyder's doing behind the scenes? Like, come on, man. Just like, why is all your movies like not getting edited? You know what I mean? Like, he's like, oh, I want to give him like 6 hours instead of an hour and a half. You know what I mean?
Could just make 3 movies and break it down like a real person would. But
No, we are not. No, we're not for that. No, I'm
Adam
not.
doesn't like trilogies.
It's not that he
No,
doesn't
I
like
don't.
trilogies.
I don't
it's
like
just-
splitting up movies for
yeah.
the sake of profit.
But I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Zack Snyder, coming from a place where he's making some of these movies, not the Justice League ones, but like what are those other ones he made on Netflix?
Army of the Dead.
No, that was pretty good. That was a pretty good
Not
one.
Army of the Dead. What's the one?
Was he involved in?
Rebel Moon on Netflix.
Oh yeah, those.
he made like a 9-hour version. Ryan watched the whole thing.
Ryan, like the first one.
Listen,
Ryan,
he's not that good of a director.
I know.
the first one,
I
like-
like slow mo. I like the slow mo.
Dude, reckless amount of slow motion in that movie.
Reckless is right.
Aggressive. It's aggressive.
It's aggressive.
Same with the fucking Flash. Ew, dude.
I enjoyed that movie.
I know.
Dude,
you did,
rewatching
but
it
That
though,
movie's
it's
like
not fun. It's not
no.
a fun rewatch. No.
I haven't rewatched it, so I really don't know.
It's like
but I
Green
had a
Lantern.
blast in theater. Honestly, that was a solid.
No,
like
The
6.5,
Flash is
7
n-
out of 10. That was like one of the better DCU movies that they had.
I think Green Lantern's the worst DC movie of all time.
I think we can.
Well,
all
that's
agree
like,
on that.
but not the same universe timeline pathway that they were on. I mean that's a bad movie. Don't get me wrong, but like I'm talking about of like the Snyderverse stuff. Like the Flash was not the worst movie in that series of movies.
I think we deserve a Snyder cut of Green Lantern.
Did he direct that?
No.
I don't think he directed
Then
that
why
one,
would
but it would
he-
be real funny if he threw one together.
But like he could.
Tyler's just stirring. He's like,
If anybody's gonna be able to get Reynolds back in that suit, it's probably Zack Snyder.
Do we want?
Yeah, we'll
Reynolds
just
back
do a couple
in this
reshoots
suit?
and then we'll go back and we'll edit from the original footage and we'll be good.
He shot himself back in time. Don't forget in Deadpool, so he can't make it anymore. He went back in time and
He
shot
can't.
himself as Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, I remember that.
Yep.
We can do it. We can fix it.
Spoilers.
We've done it once. We can do it again.
That bad on you if you haven't seen that movie yet. Not my fault.
Is that even part of the movie? Isn't that part of like the after credit scenes?
Yeah, it's a post credit scene.
Yeah,
for sure.
well then that doesn't matter. It's fine. You can spoil that all day.
It's not canon, I guess. Maybe. No, I don't know.
No, I'm saying it's probably canon, but I'm just saying you don't have to worry about spoiling that.
Very true. Yeah.
People are gonna look that up because it's after scene credits anyways.
People
have
really,
also
or
been.
people who have not seen that movie looking up the after credit scene for it.
Probably. Psychopaths, but probably.
Yeah,
Ryan totally does that. I'm pretty sure.
No, I don't.
Ryan still
I see the
watches
movies.
Green Lantern.
I don't. That's a
you know, talk about psychopaths. Mickey 17 comes out tonight, but I'm gonna go see it tomorrow with some friends.
Nice.
So it's my one buddy and some of his friends that he want to go with. Was like, cool, whatever. We found the seats that we wanted. We finally decided the screen time we're going to. And I was like, all right, dude, like, you know how to entourage me? He's got A-list. His two friends don't. So I just assumed you'd get all 4 tickets. And then they'll Venmo you. You can entourage me. And then we're good. And that did not happen. He goes, no, I'm not buying them for a group. Just like, go book a ticket. And I was like, this is going to make everything worse. And sure enough, I go book my ticket. I entourage him while I'm doing that because I'm like, well, I'm already here. It's on my way to purchasing it. So I grab his ticket for him anyway. And then he texts his 2 buddies in the group chat he made, hey, go buy J16 and 15 or whatever it was. 10 minutes later, one of them sends a screenshot. I can't. Those are taken. And we look and go back. And on either side of our seat was someone who bought another ticket. So in the time and like the maybe 20 minutes that after we'd bought our tickets, somehow someone decided to take the seat on our left, and it's an empty theater, by the way. Like maybe a group of like 2 other groups, like 5 or 6, and it's an empty theater, and people sat right next to us on either side. Psychopaths. So we're gonna go to the movie tomorrow, and I'm gonna have to show up and like see these people and look them in the eye. And understand what kind of psychological behavior that kind of is.
I actually don't think I'm going to that showing. I feel like that's on purpose. I feel like you guys are like walking into a trap.
There is 4 of us going and meeting and like gonna go to this movie together. And I feel confident in a group of 4, but
I don't know.
You're right. If it was just the 2 of us, I probably wouldn't be sitting there anymore.
Feels like a trap.
I feel like they're not going to show up. Like they are really psychopaths, and they just go around buying tickets like that
They
all
just
day
use
long.
their A-list ticket
Yeah.
to sit next to people. Dude,
Dude,
I'm
that
gonna
would
start
be
doing
just
that.
so
to
funny.
mess with people. You're like, I got to use
There's
one. Why not
nothing
mess with this
stopping
guy?
me from doing
That
that.
is incredible.
I
Absolutely
think I'm gonna
nothing.
start doing that. That's awesome.
That's a move.
once a week. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
I'm
a
just
new
gonna-
bit.
I'm
Maybe
just
that's a
gonna
new bit on the
sit-
podcast. Is we like randomize finding different screenings, and we try to find like a screening with 1 person in it,
And just sit right next to them.
We
Don't
book
do
a
that to that
ticket
poor
next to them.
person.
Just snipe the seats. Just snipe seats that I'm not even gonna go to a fucking movie too.
It's like Bridget Jones's Diary 5. You're like, I'm just gonna put 1 seat right
I'm
here.
gonna start doing that when I'm just like when I have a bad day at work.
And if
I'm just
you-
gonna come
yeah.
home. I'm just gonna buy a ticket to a movie I'm not gonna fucking go to just to make someone not be able to sit like next to their friend or something like that.
If you really want to be diabolical, just like put it in like the best seat.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just
too.
gonna take the center seat every single time,
We did again. There's nothing stopping us,
and I'm gonna
from like me entouraging
I was
all
gonna say
6
we just
people on my
entourage,
list
like
or
all
whatever it
6
is.
people, like the best
Yeah.
6 seats in every theater,
Every Friday night
Oh
and
my
Saturday
God,
night,
dude.
we just book that. Like, what is stopping us?
and then
from
never
doing that?
show up,
I mean, we could even
Clever.
show up when like it's a movie we want to see,
or
but
just
we,
cancel right before.
But it doesn't matter. Like
So
every
you still get your seat.
every
you still get your ticket
every, like
saved.
Saturday night 7 p.m. Dolby screening at Barrington. Like we just book that
Dude,
road.
what fucking dirtbag behavior?
That would be
I'm
so
so down, dude.
Horrible behavior, but absolutely hilarious.
I'm so down.
I have also been watching Righteous Gemstones. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that.
I have
had seen
not.
the
I've heard
first
good
season.
things.
It's very good.
And I know it started
I
back
don't
up.
know if I ever watched the second season.
Oh my God, the second season is even more hilarious than the first. It has Eric Andre, and he is like
my
a
God.
Texas
And I definitely didn't see
preacher
that season.
and he is putting on an absolute show. I honestly think
now
Eric
it's on
Andre's
its
the
third
funniest
season,
part.
right?
No,
third-
fourth. This will be its
Fourth.
fourth.
Okay.
And the first season's absolutely ridiculous too. I mean, they just get
It's
more and more
good.
ridiculous. But
Is it just a comedy? I've really never been like
It's
invested
a
in
dark
it.
Yeah.
comedy. It's
Yeah,
like
it's-
it goes like really like kind of this is emotional dark
Yeah.
to like this is hilarious.
Danny
you know what I mean?
McBride's in it, right?
McBride. It's got
Yeah.
Adam
Jeff Goodman.
John Goodman.
I love
Yeah.
McBride.
John Goodman.
Probably goes by Jeff. He maybe.
Maybe. John Goodman.
if you're his best friend, he goes by Jeff.
All
Jeff
right.
Goodman.
Well, we know
Like,
each
hey,
other.
who told you my name was Jeff? Who?
My name.
I mean,
Jeff.
you know what?
My name is Jeff.
That could be a thing. I mean, a lot of actors do go by a different alias. So, I mean, you could be wrong, but
Yeah.
you're also probably 100% wrong.
I just misspoke. It does happen. It does. It
Yeah,
does
get off
happen.
his back, dude. He's the host of this podcast. You're a fucking
You're the
guest.
nicest guy I've ever met, Adam. I was just giving you a hard time.
No, I know that's not true.
I just got an IMDb recommendation because you watched Bullet Train, which I have not watched Bullet Train recently. We think you might like Free Guy.
What's the correlation in those movies?
I have no idea. It's late on a Friday, and I haven't
And
I
IMDb is
haven't
blowing
told
up your
IMDb that I watched Bullet Train. I've never gotten a notification like that from IMDb before, and they're just like, "Hey, we think you might like this rec,"
They got some AI going now.
and it's
You know,
Free
checking all
Guy,
your stuff.
That doesn't
Free
happen
guy.
on my iPhone.
and it's Free
Could be
Guy.
a Samsung thing.
I mean,
Samsung
it
guy,
just
yeah.
happened. Probably seems like a new update. I'm gonna die if you get a recommendation on your phone.
Sign the contract, man.
Screenshot
Signed
it. Screenshot it as soon as it happens because it's bound to happen.
Ryan Reynolds
not
probably
gonna
just bought some IMDb stock and decided to send you that. That's
That
my
means
guess.
he's listening, dude.
He is listening right now. He's
That's
always
good. I
listening.
love Ryan Reynolds.
Is he like
He's-
he's a viewer of the podcast? Yeah.
He did probably.
Or is he
Really.
like listening through my laptop?
One can only assume. Both.
Probably both.
Both. For sure.
He's also my imaginary friend.
Oh, isn't that kind of weird though? Like a grown man having Ryan Reynolds for his imaginary friend.
I don't
Like, what do you
know.
guys do?
I think it's kind of cool.
What do you go get drinks?
Tyler Durden was an imaginary friend.
That's because he was having like a schizophrenic episode.
You don't
Are
know
you
what
having one?
I don't know. All I know is that Ryan Reynolds may or may not be sitting next to me, and that's all I got for you.
You can't not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
True.
I mean, I get it. I get what happened to Tyler Durden. But who's real? Is it Tyler Durden?
Are you spoiling everything right now for people?
I just said
Can't-
who's real.
Shut up.
Wait a minute. That movie's like 30 years old.
What else? What else? You been? Is that it? Is that all you got?
No, I mean, other than that, you know, when you hang out with your wife or your girlfriend.
Whoa.
Oops, I didn't say that.
Whoa.
But you guys hang
got
out
something to tell us?
No, I do not. When you guys hang out with your wives and me and Alex and then are hanging out, we watch a lot of reality TV and my
Oh,
God.
trash TV.
Oh yeah, she likes it.
No.
And sometimes, you know, you're sitting there. I'll be playing like I'll be playing on the Xbox sometimes, and then you start listening in, and you're like, that kind of sounds funny. It's just these two ladies fighting, and then you look back again, and you're like, they're getting more ridiculous. So I have watched a couple different things on Bravo and whatnot. I like to watch Vanderpump Rules. No lie. So
Well, good luck with that. I am very fortunate that Leah doesn't
No,
really
thank you.
partake in those.
Yeah, I don't.
And
I've
if she
never
does,
They're
it's
great.
usually if she does, it's usually when I'm like not around, because she like does the Paris show every now and then. Paris Hilton.
Justin knew exactly what you were talking about. You knew.
Yeah, he
yeah, I
knew.
know who Paris Hilton is. Who doesn't?
Adam gave me a look, so he didn't. I was very certain he didn't know who I was talking
your
about. But
Paris show can mean a lot of things.
yeah, like Paris, France.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's watching just a doc about Paris, France.
I would.
yeah.
You know, that sounds
Yep.
entertaining.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very fortunate in the fact that she doesn't partake in those. We get involved in a lot of Netflix shows together, and that's kind of like our bread and butter.
Netflix is hit or miss sometimes. And don't get me wrong, me and her will watch other stuff. Like we just
Oh,
watch
I
Lord
know.
of the Rings. She watches Jurassic Park with me all the time because she puts up with me to watch that movie because it's like my comfort movie.
just like once a week, I have to watch.
Ooh,
I have
yeah.
to watch Jurassic
I
Park.
mean, there was a time probably I was doing that. I really do love that movie. No lie, it's my top. It's probably my favorite movie of all
it's a
time.
great movie.
Honestly.
It's on the
It is a
Entropy
good
list.
movie. Is it still in the top 10? Is it number 10? I think it's number 10 right
I think
now.
it's somewhere in there. Yeah,
Is it 5? I mean, I feel like it's closer to.
I don't think it's
I don't know.
five.
I think I got bumped down a little bit.
Also,
5 is Hereditary. 4 is Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, yeah,
3
yes,
is
yes.
Django. 2 is The Shining, and then 1 is Dune Part 2. And just so everybody
Park
knows,
is
I
8.
had my home screen on. That's off the dome that I know that. Okay, that's not just
Jurassic Park is 8.
8.
excellent movie. By the way, that is a great list at the top there. And also, by the way, shout out to Alex. Thanks for getting me into all these different shows.
Do you have a favorite?
They
Which
took
one is your
our
favorite?
dare.
of all?
On the Entropy list
No, of your shows.
of the trash TV
Yeah,
shows?
the trash TV
Oh
shows.
my god.
It's probably Vanderpump. You
We are
just said.
currently watching one called Traders, and it just takes some of the trashiest people from different reality TV shows, throws them into a house, and what they have to do is figure out who's like a murderer, and then who like a traitor, and then
They're
who's
playing
not.
Among Us.
Yes, 100%.
They're literally
but in real
playing
life.
Among Us.
And it honestly is ridiculously funny because you're watching these people who absolutely are the worst people from reality TV just rip each other apart. So it is absolutely funny to watch.
Yeah.
Just to have them do these things. It's
Unreal.
funny. I love it. It's great. They turn on
glad.
each other all the time, and that's the best part.
I'm glad you enjoy it. Ryan, what have you been getting into, bud?
Oh man, one that Adam talked about a couple weeks ago was Strange Darling, just dropped on Paramount Plus.
Dude.
Solid.
Oh my God,
Solid.
more than solid. That was
fun.
arguably the best horror movie of last year.
Pretty close, yeah, I'd say.
Dude,
I didn't watch
very,
it this
very good.
year, which sucks. I was like, oh man, I slept on this.
Very good.
Yeah, Going Blind, by the way.
Go in so blind.
Fun
Like,
time.
Like absolutely no joke on that one. Like
Maybe I'll
you
have
cannot
to-
know a thing about the movie.
Don't even watch the trailer. Don't need it. Just
Don't
trust
do
us.
anything.
Trust
Yeah,
us.
that's a
Said it
trust
just
me,
dropped on
bro
Paramount Plus.
recommendation for sure.
Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus.
I
Awesome.
don't know. I've
And
trusted
it's
Ryan
short
a
too.
couple
It's
times.
under
Yeah,
100 minutes.
like
maybe around
99
90.
minutes.
Yeah, it's maybe around
Solid.
90.
Half of that's credit. I mean, like 4 minutes of that's credits.
I wish it was slightly longer even, but yeah, no, it's a quick one. And it's very, very good.
minutes.
Very, very good.
Don't you have to do that.
Yeah, I did that. I watched that last night, which is solid. Been rocking some solo leveling season 2.
That's
Solid.
good. I've heard that's good.
Good time. Hard to any anime. It's hard to get into like first couple episodes. You got to be like,
know.
hey, here's this crazy world, and then like,
Welcome.
yeah, exactly. Tyler knows more about anime than I do. You know what I mean?
Anime is so sick.
It is.
I have a problem.
Season 2's rocking on Crunchyroll, and then slammed through Vikings. Slammed. Solid
good.
How
show.
many seasons of that are there?
6.
Yeah.
Is it
I know
6?
it's a long one.
6. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I know for some people that's like on par with Game of Thrones. Like
Yeah,
it's
easily,
up there.
yeah.
It's really
a great
up there.
show.
Yeah.
Excellent show. Absolutely excellent.
And you'll be happy with the ending,
Loved
I
it.
think.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah,
I think
Game
that's
of
maybe
Thrones is
one of the
very,
things that like a lot of people would maybe put it on par with like Game of Thrones is because like it's so consistent, so solid all the way through versus like giving you like this god tier level TV and then slowly kind of like trickling off to where, you know, it ended. Because obviously that's like people's biggest pain points with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
They just had a new movie come out, and it is not doing too hot.
Game of Thrones?
The two guys that David Benioff and
Oh
Evie
yeah.
Wise. I think they had some
it was
movie.
a huge bust.
Yeah, with Dave Bautista or something like that.
There's one coming out this weekend that's Dave Bautista, but I don't think that's them.
I think that's the one. I thought that was the one that was him. Or
Is
am I
it?
wrong?
Dave
I think
Bautista
so.
rules.
The like alien zombie movie with Mia, whatever her
think
name is,
so.
the girl from woman from Resident Evil movies. What's her name?
Oh,
Mia Djokovic.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it? Tyler, you on it?
I'm trying. I don't even know what it's called.
I just
In the Lost Lands?
that's it.
it DB Wise and David now?
Benioff and Weiss, I think is something like that.
Thought I saw that.
No, director is Paul Anderson.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like nothing
Paul
like
Anderson.
something they
Yeah,
really.
Paul
Wes
W.S.
Anderson.
Anderson.
Damn, that's even worse for him now. Then. Sorry, Paul.
I kind of want to go see
Sorry,
that. It seems
Paul.
like that would just be a fun.
Sorry,
turn your brain
Paul.
off.
He's a good friend of mine, that Paul.
Yeah, he's definitely
I like
listening.
Paul Rudd if I'm going to talk to any Paul.
Strong candidate for like high level Paul.
Oh yeah.
Word, for sure.
Yeah, he's like Yoda level Paul.
Yeah, I'd
For
agree.
Sure, absolutely the best.
I'd agree.
Pauls.
Yeah.
What else you watching?
Vikings, I've been doing. Last weekend, I watched this movie by this company called Flying Lotus. It's called called Kuso. It's about this.
Ooh, I've heard of this.
Dude, it's on Shudder, AMC Plus.
Okay, yeah, I think
But,
I've heard of this.
Sneaky anthology where it's just like set in this weird dystopian post-earthquake place, and it's just like things that are happening in that universe. But don't let that undersell you. It's just weird, trippy, fun time, but a little bit bizarre. You know what I mean? But give it a chance. It's a good time. 86 minutes, solid,
Not bad.
solid. And then I think that's it. Really, yeah. Just been.
What's Phoenix been watching?
Any Bluey?
Oh, he's hardcore into Bluey.
How do you like Bluey? Because I've heard it's like not terrible to watch once you kind of get into the later
You do.
episodes.
You get involved quick.
Yeah, right.
Ryan's
Yeah,
like,
I've
it
heard.
got me through a week of
Wyatt
work, dude.
is 10 years old and still likes Bluey. He will still watch it.
He's not alone though. I've heard this
Oh,
from
dude.
people I listen
Yeah.
to online. Like Bluey's pretty solid.
Oh my God, there's some episodes you've seen them, man. that
Dude,
are
I was on an episode like 2 weeks ago. It was about they called it the Shadowlands. So like Bluey and her friends just operate. So whenever the sun's out, the shadow is its own separate land. So they're only trying to like be in the shadow, you know, like hot lava type of thing, but for
Yeah.
like modern day. And I was like, Shadowlands, this is sweet. So when the sun was aging, like when the sun was like becoming going over the whole day, they had to like make sure they stayed in these shadows.
Yeah.
And then my wife went to turn it off for my son. I was like, "What'd you turn that off for? I'm watching that still." I was like, "I want to see how this ends." You know, so,
That's funny.
Yeah,
they're so short. They're like 15 minutes long, so you like can watch
Yeah.
them so quickly.
Yeah.
But there's so many episodes. All of a sudden, you're like standing there and you're like, "Dude, what did that just say? What did they just say? That sounds like that's a great story." There's some that I've seen. I think Alex watched one with him, and it was about moving. And it was like
Oh.
a super sad episode about moving. And then there's other episodes, but they tackle a lot of cool things. So it is a good show.
Now have you guys seen all of Bluey?
no,
Because
I've seen a lot.
well, because I remember this was maybe about a year ago when one of the podcasts I listened to, this guy got on there and had almost talked for like 45 minutes about this Bluey episode that was like show altering, lore altering Bluey stuff that was like out of nowhere, like incredibly deep and touching. And because he was a father watching it with his son, and he just like was blown away by it and like had this deep emotional moment with Bluey. So I don't know if would like ring any bells for you if there's a moment like that you guys have come across, or if I'm now.
I think that the episode
making
you might
you,
be
like-
talking about, this is like the first one I saw, and it was just by accident.
Okay.
And like, it was about like detaching from like your blanket or your like stuffed animal, and like when they have like something that's really important, then they detach.
Talking
from
to the
it.
mic.
Sorry.
You're okay. I know it's partially too because you're trying to
trying
make
to
eye
look at me,
contact with the person you're
that's-
talking to. So I
That's
guess
true.
true.
That's what I figured. I think
Yeah.
it sounds too.
No,
but
you're
it probably
good.
sound a lot better if I do it
You're
this
good.
way. But it's about like when you detach from like those really big things, like your stuffed animals and
Right.
things like that when you're a little kid. And there's one like she goes through a whole thing, and it's really like wow.
I think it was even
emotional
like
thing.
more emotional than that, if I remember. But
Oh wow. I
but-
think the moving away episode is also supposed to be.
it might have been
very
that one.
emotional.
I don't know.
Justin's like, it made me cry.
I have not seen it honestly. Actually.
Well, it made the guy Greg Miller, the podcast host of that, it was talking about it. It said he cried. No.
It's different, dude. There's times where like even like just being married and having somebody like that in your life, it's just like you just sit there and think about something, or you see something on TV. Like I remember Spider-Man where he catches his Mary Jane and he saves her, and I'm like,
yeah,
he never
yeah.
got to do that with his Mary Jane.
That got me, man.
And I was
Gwen
like,
Stacy.
and like, dude, I teared up.
That
I
got
teared
me,
up when
man.
I went and saw it with like some of the homies, and then I teared up when
I'll tear up
Leah and
every
I
time
went and
see
saw it again. Like I was like, he gets to say it, and I was like, dude,
Yeah, man.
I can't.
Yeah, dude, that movie. You guys keep shitting on it.
I don't.
Dude, that movie rocks,
Blake
dude.
and Nathaniel definitely do, but
Well, they're not here, so fuck them.
yeah, fuck them. For real though. For real though.
Movie. It's a
Spider
great
Man,
movie.
man. You know, it's just
I am a Spider-Man
good.
fan.
when I would watch those Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans on loop. growing up.
Speaking of what we watched, I've plowed through all three of those probably within like the last like 3 weeks to a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about number 3?
I mean, everybody knows what everybody
Yeah.
thinks.
3 is
But-
just like across the board. No.
Yeah. It's just
It's not great.
it's just such a hodgepodge of emotions and plots, and so many things are just happening, and
Yeah, it's a lot.
yeah.
Tough. I really loved
But the first
those
two
movies.
are-
absolutely loved those movies.
Yeah.
That movie.
First two are so
But
good.
I love it.
First
It's
two are
it's
so good.
still not like the worst movie I've ever seen.
No, yeah, I mean, there's especially nowadays we know that there's worse things out there, but yeah, the first two are iconic. Seeing the first like Spider-Man on screen like that was just like something you'll never be able to like recreate. It's like he almost became one of those superheroes where you're like, that person will never change in my head as like who that superhero is for me.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, once Andrew Garfield came around, it was like game over for me.
Garfield's my Peter Parker for sure.
In my mind, he is my favorite Peter Parker, without a doubt. And I like that will never change for me. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I think it's probably one of the best pickups that you could possibly imagine for the MCU. Given like age, ability to act, like overall like physical ability, like you match that character so well, and you also look like you're in high school, which obviously a lot of the other ones get a little grief for like age, but
As they should, dude. That's
some of like some of the Tobey Maguire shit's like pretty egregious. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, you're 40 years old.
Yeah, he's 37.
Yeah.
In the third one, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He
in
is.
college.
But that's okay. I think Andrew Garfield's my favorite Spider-Man as well. And Wyatt, when he was a little, I showed him that for the first time, and he would always call it the Lizard Man one. He's like, I want to watch a Spider-Man with the Lizard
Oh
Man.
yeah, for sure.
And I was like, dude, yes, I absolutely love this, that you love these movies. And he loves that Spider-Man. It's his go-to Spider-Man movie. And I'm like, yes, Andrew Garfield's top Spider-Man.
Honestly, I'll go back and forth a lot, but like my favorite Spider-Man is obviously Andrew Garfield. It's so hard for me not to include Miles Morales in these conversations now
True.
because these
That's
movies
fair.
have become
That's
so
absolutely-
iconic and they're so good.
Yeah.
And even though they're animated, some people just might not see the correlation. But like knowing my comic book brain and my like universe brain, like it's connected. There's no way that it's not in my mind. And I know that Miles Morales exists in the video games, which is all connected to me too. So it's like there's no way you can't include him in the conversation. And he has become such like a booming like beacon for like the younger generation for Spider-Man.
100% for sure.
Especially mixing in the animated stuff. It's like,
as it should. That makes me really happy to hear, at least, because
dude,
Miles in that game too. Spider-Man, like the 1B.
Yeah, I haven't played the second one. It just came to PC, so I can finally kind of play it, but I have not gotten around to it yet.
my
So
one
I
buddy just hit me
love
up and
that
he was
game.
like,
or the first one.
how come nobody told me I was going to need a box of fucking tissues for this game? And
Spider-Man 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, shit
Really?
goes down,
Yeah,
dude.
so-
Miles
Don't
goes
tell
through
me
some
that.
shit.
Do I
Miles goes through a lot of shit, no matter which universe.
is
he's
Miles
in.
Morales that game on PC? Does anyone here know? I'm gonna have to look into that.
I don't
the
think
game
so.
that came out in between, like shorter, like the extended DLC, 4 or 5 hour DLC. the
I know what
Miles
you're talking
Morales
about. I don't think it is.
thing. Okay. Because I haven't played that. Do I need to? I don't know if I need to play.
I don't
that
think you do.
before. Okay.
I mean, it's a nice like tangent. It's fun. It's short.
Shut up.
have
He
you-
doesn't know.
Have you played it?
Yeah, for sure.
No,
It's
he's
solid.
never done
I
it.
have.
100%. It helps a little bit.
Okay.
It's nice.
All right.
It's nice.
But I'm done though. You can continue on after Spider-Man if you want.
No, that's all. For what I'm watching? Oh, yeah. So yeah, I did the Tobey Maguire set. Leah and I just did the first season of Night Agent on Netflix, which was pretty decent. It's fairly fine, like cop actiony mystery kind of show. I'm so jazzed for Formula One. Our first
we're a week out.
a week out, yeah, and
I really need to get back into watching those races.
just
this
ecstatic
season.
about it.
Yeah.
So that'll be really fun. Honestly, it's been like some more Tim the Tatman playing Rivals again. And I just can't get enough of that game. I'm still like fully addicted. I have been playing Avowed too. Avowed as well. It's not called Avowed 2. It's just called Avowed. But that's very like Skyrim, Elder Scrolls kind of type game. So that's been a ton of fun lately. And I don't know if we really have been watching a ton of other stuff. What's that show we lost last week?
I was just about to say that's really the only thing on my what we're watching. Common side effects.
Common Side Effects. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I did start that. I watched the first 3 episodes, and that was
I'm
pretty
caught
funny.
up. I saw the newest
I did
episode.
not. I haven't
I'm
watched
on
anything from what we
episode
have
6. I just
watched.
caught up.
When you meet the 2 FBI agents
Oh,
at the
dude.
beginning, it's got to be
So
one of the
fucking
funniest
good.
things.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
So
please. No.
Yeah, that's enough.
I won't do spoilers. I've been doing this for a minute. That scene is one of the best things I've seen in a long time. But like it's so good because before I knew what that show was, I sent Nathaniel a meme of that scene, and it said, when you don't look at the schedule for work, but then you see your buddy clocking in, and it's like I have so many of like that moment happening at Best Buy, like whether it's like with Adam, with Nathaniel, with Blake, with Bill, or like with Joe, and it's just like I'm like, dude, let's go, dude.
And then you get
Thanks for forgetting
you'd
me,
get those
bro.
you get those shifts where
I'm
it's
looking
like
at you.
I know, I'm just messing with you.
you get those shifts like maybe once or twice a week where it all line up and it's like, damn, everyone's on the floor for like a good 6 hours.
dude.
It was everyone was there. It was just
So good.
Those are some of the good best times. Those are the good times.
Yeah, do you have any?
I mean,
we the Best Buy stories are some of the lore of this podcast. Do you have any that you want to like share that would be
Yeah.
Oh my
like because you
God.
were there, you saw the
I-
golden years that we talk about.
Yeah,
Like,
They
you
were
were-
great times.
The golden
They were
years.
some funny times.
Dude.
I mean, Tyler has seen some of my favorite moments. Some great highlights are definitely there was a guy, he brought in this TV, and we were up front, and I was at customer service looking at the TV, and the guy brought it in, and I opened it up, and you could clearly see he put a thumbprint right through the thing.
Yeah, he tried grabbing the screen.
And he tried to grab the screen.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm like, what happened to it? He's like, I don't know, it just came out of the box that way. I was like, I laughed. I shouldn't have snickered, but I definitely laughed. And this guy absolutely started flipping out. And then Tyler was right there. And he was absolutely
there.
laughing because he saw what I did. And he's like, I would have probably done the same thing, but I would have turned around before I did it.
Yeah.
And I did it right
I was
in
I
front
was
of
there
him.
that day.
Yeah.
I
Oh
wasn't
my
there for
God.
that, but I remember you had to like walk the floor. You were like so heated.
There were plenty of times where I got the call to have to go to customer service, and Justin on the customer service, customer facing is just not
Especially
not a good
towards the
idea.
end of Justin's tenure at that store when
Yeah.
when just there was no
The-
like it was just Joe, and then every other manager was like not really on anyone's ass, and it was just and you definitely didn't care anymore, and
Yeah,
it was just-
the like curmudgeon, like get off my lawn, like old
Oh
man
my
came
God,
out at
dude.
some point. So it's like,
There
dude,
was
you
just no
don't have to
filter.
fight that 10-year-old.
yeah.
It was never any 10-year-olds for sure. But there
It
was
might have
one
been.
guy that did threaten to kill me one time because
That's
I wouldn't
crazy.
give him a $10 off his Apple TV. And I was like, dude, it is the holidays. You need to relax.
Yeah, there was one time too where Justin was like putting a sound bar back for some guy or something like that, and like Justin used his foot to like push the box like under the display, and the guy like freaked out, like tried telling us that like Justin tried to kick his hand and like all this other shit. And I think it was during the holidays too, and I was just like, dude, get the fuck out of my store. I'm like, I don't have time for this. He didn't try to kick you. Like, I'll literally go watch the cameras. And then I think that was the same guy that yelled liar across like the store. And it might have been a different guy, but there was like a guy that fucking like we were like walking out the vestibule. We're like, dude, you gotta go. Like, I'm not dealing with this. You're creating a disturbance. And then like Joel, we all know how big Joel is.
Dude.
Joel's like this mammoth of a human. And he was like basically like
Man, everyone
walking
would,
this guy
everyone
out.
would shut up when they
Yeah.
saw Joel coming.
Yeah, just
you would
a
not hear
huge
anything.
person. And
yeah,
this guy was like,
shout out Joel.
Joel was like basically like walking him out the vestibule, like, just get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah.
And this guy like basically like jumped over like Joel's like shoulder, and he was like, liar, and like just left. And like I was like, this guy really had to get this out. Like he was really upset.
He was calling someone liar that
Joel,
day, and it was
Joel
Tyler.
one time, I wasn't there to hear this firsthand, but I was like kind of close because I knew the commotion was going on. But he comes in, and it was him and one of the managers. It might have been Josh. I don't know if Josh was there. It was like I feel
JJ?
like it would have been Josh or maybe it was like Bill or somebody. They had to walk somebody out, and the guy was like making a scene at the register, and then saw Joel coming and shut up immediately. And then
great.
they walked him out, And then as the guy finally was walking back to his car and like 10 feet from Joel, he turns around and he goes, "I hope you eat your wife's pussy tonight."
Oh my god.
It's like, dude, that's not the insult that you think it is.
It's not a diss.
That's not a diss. Like
Me too.
Me too. Yeah.
Are you encouraging me right now? Is this what's happening?
I fucking will. Yeah.
I have to say though, one of the funniest stories that is, it's not like a bad ending or anything like that. But I mean, Wyatt and Alex came to visit me, and by the way, shout out to Wyatt as well.
Shout out
He would
Wyatt.
be disappointed if I didn't say hi to him. And he came in. They had just gone to see, I think, Santa Claus.
My guy was like
at the
4.
mall. Yeah. And he had just like scarfed on a ton of Sbarros, like just inhaled it
I
apparently.
think it was beef stroganoff.
I think, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had gotten the breadsticks too. So he was at the store. He wasn't looking too good, and he threw up all over Alex. And I'm sorry I'm telling a story, but it is a funny story. And then Tyler was standing right there too, and he was just like, he saw the whole thing. Tyler saw the whole thing, actually, I believe.
Yeah, I was like, squatted down in front of him because like we were like forming our like bond as like just where we were at in life. So like him and I used to like anytime I could get a hug out of him or something like that when he was a kid. So I was like squatting down, and be like, "Come here, bud. Like, what's up?" And then like he did not respond how he normally would, and so I'm like, I don't know if my guy's okay. And so then like Alex like squatted down in front of him, and I stood up, and she was like, "Hey, bro, like what's going on?" And like my guy just projectiled like all over her coat. Like it was like, it looked like the exorcism was happening. Like he was like turning and it was still like coming. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, my poor guy.
And then and like it is funny because like he every time we tell this story at like a family event or something like that, he's like, shut the fuck up. But
Tyler, no.
But it's like, dude, it's like you'll know someday when you get old enough. It's funny.
That's
and it's totally okay.
Yeah.
And like you were 4, so it doesn't fucking matter. You know how many
Right.
times I threw up when I was 4?
Yeah,
he laughs
absolutely.
about it.
He
now.
does.
He 100% laughs about
Yeah.
it. He takes so much. He's such a funny
How
kid.
old is he now?
He is
10.
10 years old, dude,
yeah.
and he's getting so big, and like he's so cool. He's also sometimes, he's growing. He's a 10-year-old boy. They're
Yeah.
all coming into. He's coming into his own. So you're learning a lot of things about that. You know how that goes being 10.
I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Well, it's
Tyler, dude, we were ruthless together, me and Tyler. So I can only imagine what my mom went through. But luckily, we have Wyatt, and he's pretty funny now, and he's 10 years old.
yeah. I've really only recently gotten my first glimpse of that with my girlfriend's little brother, because when I first met my girlfriend and first met his family and her little brother, he was like 10 or 11, and now he's like 13, and he's like growing super fast and is already like 5'11" or 6 foot.
Yeah.
But he's also like more mature, and you can tell like you can have more conversations with him now, and like I don't know, it's like seeing that difference and seeing like someone like a person grow like that. Like I've never really like seen that
You're
before.
a
Like,
human.
yeah, exactly.
I
It's
Yeah,
like
because
nuts to
I
see
joke
now.
around all the time that babies are dumb, and it's just because they are.
They
Like,
are.
They don't know anything.
Tyler has beef with my son always.
Right.
They always got beef.
Yeah, there was like, I think
Yeah.
one of like my best jokes for Ryan was I think we were hanging out here, or maybe it was the old place, and just like how like people scroll on their phones, and like they see a meme and they gotta like turn to their friend and be like, dude, you gotta see this. And so like I was scrolling on my phone, and then I came across a picture of Phoenix, and it's a picture of his wife posted or something like that. And so I stopped it on my screen, and I'm just looking at him, and I'm looking at my phone, and I'm like, I gotta do this. And so I'm like, I start like fake laughing. I'm like, oh my God, dude, you got to see this fucking dumb ass kid. And Fully's like full invested. He's like,
fully
no
like, oh my God, I'm
way,
gonna laugh
dude.
my ass
He's like,
off,
this
for
is going to be the
sure.
funniest thing
What
ever.
does Tyler got to show me?
He's like, how dumb is this kid? And I turn my phone, and it's just a picture of his kid.
just my wife, my son. I was like, oh my God.
And he fucking started dying. It was probably like one of my top
That's
tier
awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
like
That's
burns
good.
you could play on your friend.
Bro,
it was so good.
was fun.
I love those moments where like, wait, I just thought of a whole bit,
Yeah.
and I
Oh
can
my
pull this
God.
off. Like
God.
they you can have small bits here and there, but like it's rare moments where you're like, holy shit, I can see the full bit.
When
I
they
have
hit.
time
You
to pull
gotta
this
go.
off.
I'd be more
And it's
mad
like,
if you
I
told me.
gotta move. I gotta make moves.
Yeah.
You know, like,
100%.
when that inspiration strikes, it's a good feeling.
Yep.
Why is my brother? You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially at the boys. You got to take a shot.
You got it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Nothing
Always.
like committing to the bit. That honestly is the funniest part. I love that shit. When you guys forgive full commitment.
We've had some crazy ones too.
Oh my God, there have been so many times where I'm like, are we gonna Yep, we're gonna go all the way through at this
Yeah.
point. All right, can't stop.
Yeah, we convinced one of our friends that Ryan's real name was Brian, and we
Yeah,
just
Brian
called him.
Foley.
We've been calling him Ryan because like we did it accidentally like 5 years ago, and then it just like stuck as like a funny thing. And she was
well,
like,
that
"There's
is a
no
funny thing.
fucking way."
Like, you guys are just messing with me. There's
So-
no way. I was like, it's real. We just like it becomes so used to it. Like people just call me Ryan for short. You know
So
what I
like
mean?
we've been trying to convince her of this like for like 2 days, and she wouldn't believe us. So then Ryan was at work. He had his IT guy take his driver's license
At the time,
and
it was like,
Photoshop
Photoshop
a
it?
B
put
instead
a
of an
B on
R.
it, and then like a snapshot and,
And
send
then
it back
he took
to
a
us.
snapshot of it and he sent it to her and he's like, "Look, I'm not fucking lying to you." and then she was like full in, like bought in that his name was Brian now.
Well, I would be too. I wouldn't think that you'd go that far.
Doesn't.
Oh
still
my
doesn't know.
God.
I think she still doesn't.
Still?
Know. Yeah. No.
No, she
Still
probably
convinced.
knows. She's not a fucking idiot.
How long ago was this?
This was like in our mid-20s.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. All right.
long time.
Yeah.
Aggressively
Was
long.
she at your wedding?
Not mine. No.
Not mine either.
All right. Never mind then. All right. Not that close of a friend then, huh?
We just kind of have fun out. She's still
Yeah,
dope. We
we
still
all-
hit each other up
I
like
got
every
you.
now and then.
We
Like, she'll say
started
something.
the Barrington. Me and Tyler and Rob moved out to Barrington Lakes, and we started that whole thing.
You started Barrington Lakes.
We started.
did, yeah.
but
We founded
invested
it.
in-
Developers.
Co-founders,
got it.
yeah. We're actually
Awesome.
still getting paid out.
Yep.
First season.
And you, this is the shitty studio you put me in. What the?
Yeah.
Sorry about
Yeah.
that. New owners.
Hey, yo,
New
it's-
owners.
I gotta keep my money.
Have you not watched Common Side Effects, dude? Like, but that show, it is good.
It is good.
I was here last week here at Ty's with Nathaniel, and we put that on. Or actually, you guys put it on.
We
You guys
did,
had
yeah.
it as I walked in the door, and
And then we
were-
basically rewatched the first episode once you got here.
Well, we went. You guys, I didn't make you go back.
wanted to rewatch the first episode.
You guys caught me up. We watched like maybe half of that first episode.
Yeah.
I walked in halfway through, and then you guys rewound to show me the agent,
Yeah.
bit, which
Yep.
was hilarious. And then we just kept rolling. We watched maybe 2 more episodes that night, but
Yeah.
then I went home and was like, "The show is still pretty good." So
It is
I'm
pretty
caught
good.
up. I watched the new episode. I don't know when it came out, but I watched it last night.
I
They
did
do,
not.
They do weeklies of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know what? I realized as I was watching the show, because the episodes are 23 minutes. I'm like, TV shows, maybe the perfect time is 23 minutes as like an adult. Like maybe that is like actually more preferable to like the 43 to 53 minute episodes, and it's 10 episodes and they're all basically short films, and I've got to invest 10 hours in this. It's like, oh no, I can turn on this episode for 23 minutes and it's
Right.
done.
Yeah.
Like, oof, that it does feel good to watch that stuff, because like I don't have 50 to an hour chunk pieces of time.
Yeah, dude. 3
sometimes
episodes,
for-
got an hour in. Like this is dope.
yeah,
You know
like
what I mean?
if I want to watch a 10 episode season of a show that's an hour long, I've got to, and I like say I want to get through it. I've got to find 10 hours in 2 weeks that like I can sit down and watch that. I don't always have that. I don't
Try
know.
watching DBZ and watching somebody scream for 15 minutes and
Well,
then get
that-
back to me on how long you want TV shows to be.
Ryan really likes that. He's really into that.
Fair. Well, I will never watch that show.
It is
It's
funny though, like
unending, and
how
I'll
like
never
the
finish it.
timing of TV shows has like gotten shorter and shorter. Like you guys were just saying, Bluey episodes are like 15 minutes. Like in my mind,
Well,
that's crazy.
I see. I have the opposite feeling, because with streaming services now, they're not limited to windows of airtime, so it's
Yeah.
not as expensive to put out. I mean, you have to produce, obviously,
Sure.
but the airtime does not really cost as much to put out, because you can just put up as much as you can hold on a
Yeah.
server.
I obviously there's benefits to like both, but like it's just like sometimes I feel like the 15 like I didn't know. I've never watched Bluey. I don't have a kid.
Well, that's kid shows. Those are
No,
always
I
gonna
know,
be
but
short.
like, do you think that that's like going further into like Goldfish Brain? Like us as kids, like our TV shows used to be like 28 minutes if you cut out commercials. Like we all know the math.
No, when I was a kid, I mean, maybe my attention span is short, so maybe this isn't a good thing. But like, I remember there were some shows that was like, it would be maybe 28 minutes, but a lot of times they're even split up in like 2 halves. Like I remember some shows on Nickelodeon when I was a kid. Like there was like 14-minute 2 episodes almost in one little long.
Oh yeah, like
episode.
SpongeBob used to do that. Like the 2
SpongeBob
episodes-
would
yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Backyardigans. I don't know if you guys are know
Rugrats.
Backyardigans.
Oh, I know what
Backyardigans,
you're saying
for sure.
now. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
there was
like
this
there's 2 episodes
hamster-
within one airtime.
Exactly.
I get
Yeah.
it. I
You
get it. I
really
get
were
it.
watching like a similar format. It was
Yeah.
broken down the same.
So it was
Yeah.
28 minutes or whatever, but it was like 14 and 14.
Yeah. I guess I see that now. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
SpongeBob's lit.
SpongeBob is lit.
Krusty Krab pizza is the best pizza.
Nosferatu's also in SpongeBob. You know, so
he
shout out
is.
Nosferatu.
Tyler, do you have anything else on what we're watching? Or you good?
No, I think I'm pretty good. I'm probably forgetting something, but it's also probably dumb and not relevant. Oh, I did say I started Leah and I started Daredevil as well. First episode. So great show. glad to see it come back. The like undertagging of the title is Daredevil Born Again, and since I've been playing so much Rivals, I can't stop hearing Adam's ultimate, which is Born Again, and then he brings everybody back to life. So every time I see that, I have to say the ult in my head or out loud, and I'm a psychopath. So
well,
True, both true.
yeah.
but yeah, what do you got?
Dude, college basketball.
Okay,
Mizzou.
it is March.
It is March. Mizzou basketball.
Are you making a bracket?
March
Yeah.
Madness.
But Mizzou basketball not on a hot streak.
Organized
We've had
sports are
some
so
bad-
fascist,
we've
it
had
makes
some-
me sick. Name the movie.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I said
21
name-
Jump
yeah,
Street.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Mizzou basketball not doing too hot, but we'll see how the tournament goes. They'll make the tournament. They've had a very good season overall, but the last few games they've not looked good. But and they don't play well on the road, and the tournament's not played at home, so that's concerning. But just in general, the SEC has been having good basketball. Good year of college basketball, and tournament is one of my favorite sporting events of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's not everybody's because it's like anything can happen. Crazy upsets. The making a bracket, having some kind of investment in it. It's just fun, man.
Are you investing?
I'm not. I mean, I'll play.
Are you going to invest or not?
I'll play some bets. I like to put like a 10-cent lottery bet on my bracket. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
Or like or like by round, I'll put like a less than $1. That's like plus 100,000 odds or like plus 10,000 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
like
one of
just
those
something
guys
crazy.
who just like 30 parlays try to get the win and misses it by like. They always say they miss it by one parlay, and you're like, dude, you didn't miss it by one.
It's a 30
No,
leg
oftentimes
parlay.
it
You
is
missed it by
just one, and that's
There's always
why
like
I'm
I remember
close,
all the
and I
guys would
will
always be
get-
like, yeah, I have like a 10-bet parlay. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? 10?
No,
what
you're
is
not-
it?
yeah,
What do you
it's
think
nuts.
you're gonna do?
I just don't have time to build that out.
Nobody does,
Well, you
except
don't-
for like
yeah,
people
it's-
who already have money.
No, if you got to keep your parlays under 3 at the max. Like 4 is stretching it. Three is.
I have
usually
one
the
buddy
sweet
who's
spot.
in like 12 fantasy football leagues when it comes around.
I'm in 2. Well, I'm in 2 fantasy baseball leagues and 2 fantasy basketball leagues, which is the equivalent to like 14 fantasy football
Yeah.
leagues.
No
But-
thanks.
Yeah, baseball fantasy is way harder.
Dude, it's intense, and I do daily head to head, which is like the hardest format because like it's daily lineups that you have to set.
Do you have like a
It's-
picture of like Brad Pitt from Moneyball like framed in like your
That's-
room and like
no,
that's what you
that's-
look at when you're doing like baseball stuff?
That's my like team's profile pictures.
Yeah,
Brad Pitt.
perfect.
Yeah. No. I have 2 leagues. My one league team name is Yakuza Gamblers United because of the Shohei Ohtani gambling scandal that happened last year. With
I was gonna
his,
say that sounds kind of like. Are you involved with like Japan gambling?
well,
networks
no,
somewhere
but
down the line?
Shohei might be. I
did hear about this.
Shohei and Ippei. So yeah, I made my team Yakuza Gamblers. And then my other league is Waveland Wisdongs for Patrick Wisdom, who's no longer on the Cubs, but that was one of my favorite Cubs players in the past few years. So
Nice.
we're gonna have to change that name because he's now playing in Korea. He's not in the MLB anymore. But anyway, yeah, fantasy sports. Baseball is coming up. Got 2 drafts this week. Been on my mind recently, so I'm excited for this new baseball season. Hopefully the Cubs are gonna be good.
What is the lady? Is she a Cubs fan or a?
No,
Cardinals?
she's from Mississippi. She doesn't know baseball
Oh,
at
nice,
all.
nice.
Yeah, at all. So
None
I
of
took
the
her
above.
I took her to a Cubs game, and she had no idea what was going on. Just because, South doesn't have a ton of teams down there. Honestly, if you're not in Florida and like the Braves, like those are the only 2 teams to really root for. So like it's not as big. It's like all football and it's all SEC football, especially like they don't even watch like a lot of NFL either. Like there's the Titans and the Falcons and some Florida teams again, but like besides that, it's a lot of SEC football. Like that's like why that makes so much money is because the entire South like just watches that a lot. So she like that's like the main league that she knows. It's just SEC football, which is
hilarious.
great because like I love
Honestly.
watching college football and I love watching SEC football. But like that's what she knows primarily. She will watch basketball with me. She does like basketball, but like baseball, no clue what's going on. Like I had to explain everything to her.
Tyler,
Like,
did you
everything.
win our league this year?
I did.
Congratulations
football.
once again.
Thank you.
Tyler.
Yeah, for football. My team is named Love Conquers All.
Nice.
Is that a Jordan Love reference? I'm guessing.
Yeah, stupid idiot. We're winning the Super Bowl next year.
You say that every year, and then you guys get to the first round of the playoffs, and then you lose.
At least we make it to the playoffs, bum.
Doesn't matter if you're not always. If
Yes,
you never
it
get
does.
past it. No, it doesn't.
It literally does.
How many NFC titles does Aaron Rodgers have? It's the same as like Rex Grossman.
Why
isn't
are we
it?
talking about Aaron Rodgers? He's not even on
I
the
know.
team anymore.
I know. Talk about the downfall of somebody who should have retired a while ago.
Ayahuasca will do that to you.
All right, gentlemen. We do have some questions here for our guests. We'll kind of close out the show with this here. Let us, the listeners, get to know you guys a little bit and your movie taste. What is your current? You gotta just give me a top 4, or you can reference your Letterboxd top 4. If you guys want, I don't know how current you keep that, or if you just want to rattle off like, just give me a top 4 movies. Let me get a sampling of like what kind of movies you guys are into. Doesn't have to like. Don't think too hard about it. Like, what are some movies that you would say
Are in like a good top 4.
Yeah.
I definitely
Justin's like,
say,
have
Justin,
you
you
ever
have
seen
your-
Night in Paris?
I obviously referenced it once before, but obviously Jurassic Park is up there for
Okay,
me.
Jurassic Park.
Then I also really do
JP,
enjoy.
there's a guy who's on this podcast on a regular basis who's a really big fan of JP. So he's got a lamp even that looks like a T-Rex skull.
I have
like he dug it
Lego
up and
sets
everything like
dedicated
that.
to it. I have a whole section like all for it. I love
right.
that movie. But getting off topic. Thanks, Tyler. I would also say, oh man, this is kind of Lord of the Rings.
All right.
Tropic
you can count
Thunder.
that. Or you can count that as one.
Okay, yeah, that's what I would. Yeah, I agree.
Everybody does. Everybody
Yeah,
does.
no.
It's a collective. It's a collective
Yes,
for sure.
agreed.
Yeah. Well, hang on really quick. If you had to pick one of the 3.
He'll probably say Return of the King.
No,
Maybe
I'd
even Two Towers.
I would say Two Towers.
Okay. Good
I
answer.
would definitely say Two Towers. And then Tropic Thunder for sure is up there. It's
All right.
like a top comedy.
That's 3. Give me one more.
And oh man, I'm trying to think of a good I love horror movies too. That's probably the other genre I watch the most besides maybe like action movies. Is probably horror movies.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think of like my top one right now off the top of my head. I can't. That's a tough one to think
All right.
of.
Well,
But
hey,
I would say like as a
let
genre
Foley
of
do
horror,
his.
so-
If you think of one, we can come back to you.
And the question was top 4, correct?
Top 4.
Top 4.
If you want to give me honorable mentions, I'll accept it.
I was gonna say we can go away from that script a little bit. You don't gotta be like exactly 4
Word,
things.
for sure. Genre, obviously, me and Blake, horror all the way, baby. I can't get enough of it. You know, Halloween time, Christmas time.
Do you got a favorite off the top of your head? Like you're not lying or
Terrifier 2 is probably one of my
nice,
favorites.
dude. No,
Yeah, for sure.
Justin's like, what the fuck? I'm not fucking lying, dude. There is a lot out there.
A lot of it. We're actually naming our daughter after the main character in Terrifier 2.
Are you?
Yeah, for sure.
Whoa.
What the name?
I wonder if I can make this public. Should I?
I was gonna say you don't have to.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, you don't have to if you don't want to.
We said Phoenix's name, but it's not. I don't know if you're saying it. Not that you don't care if people know her name, but if you don't
If
want
you're
to
waiting for it
announce
as
the name,
a secret or surprise,
because
then don't
we
say
obviously.
it. You don't
I was
have
gonna say
to-
we obviously do have friends that do listen to it, like Cell and all
Right,
that.
yeah,
so
yeah,
if you don't want to give it up, you do not have to.
And like we're not here to bait viewers. Like this isn't going to be.
Oh, I know that. I'm not feeling
the
any pressure.
thumbnail's like fuking Ryan's baby's name reveal. Just
Well,
like
it's just
clicks.
it's that picture of Phoenix and his wife. You know.
Yeah. We're Sienna Shaw is the main character's name. So,
All right. All right.
You're-
yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna name her middle name's not gonna be Shaw. But
Okay.
Terrifier 2 obviously rocks. Huge horror fan. I'm always watching horror. I just watched that name dropped Kuso the other on when I was watching. Top four,
But
though.
these are your top 4 movies.
No, Terrifier 2's up there.
Okay, Terrifier 2 is up there.
Easy like top 10, maybe. Yeah. So
Oh,
there.
you're just saying Caruso. Like,
Yeah.
another example of horror movie you watched recently.
Yeah.
I got you.
And then Climax, I love. It's a Jasper Noe film. It's a French film.
I feel like I just heard of that for the first time recently, so I saw like a TikTok or something on it.
Currently on Max too. It's about
Okay.
a true story where this dance crew gets like they're like their last night of this practice that they're doing this big dance thing, and then someone spikes their punch and they're locked in this building. It's based on a true story.
Oh.
But it's like the way this guy does it. Jasper Noe is a really extreme director.
Oh no.
You're talking about You Got
You lost
Served?
the graphic.
No, but dance sequences are insane. Again, it's like really this like weird, like awesome visuals. It's awesome. So I put that up there. Obviously, Lord of the Rings, Two Towers is probably my favorite. Maybe sometimes Fellowship. Depends on the day.
Damn, no Return of the King respect, huh?
It's good, but I mean, just at the end, you want it to keep on going.
Two Towers
always.
is really good though.
But yeah, and then I'm constantly on Shudder watching new movies that are coming out. So, yeah, top 4 though. That's up to Matt Reeves' Batman, obviously rocks, Dark Knight, whole nine.
Okay. That's not our logo, dude.
But I hope. Huh?
It's hard to come up with like.
Yeah, I think it showed up there. Do you want me to edit that out? Like,
I don't think it did.
Obviously, Point
I think they
Break's
were all
up there.
circles.
Point Break too. Point Break rocks.
Point Break, it does rock.
If you go back and watch it, just look at the time. It was 1:28.
I'm just, bro. Is someone gonna come over here and hack your
I
computer?
don't know, dude.
Do you want me to cut that?
If it shows the numbers, then sure. But if not, then no.
Oh man, post pod Adam's gonna come in.
Motherfucker. It was a video episode too, which means I have to go
no.
back twice because I got to go back to the video.
Yeah, but the audio you don't have to go back.
Yeah, I do.
No, you
I
don't.
guess I don't. But
I
then,
didn't
but
say
then,
the
then
numbers
it's gonna
out
be out of.
loud.
But then the audio is going to be out of sync with.
Just throw a black box over it.
You know what? I'll figure it out.
You're like, that's exactly what I'm going to do now.
No.
Or just cut the video for like the 30 seconds that it's on screen.
That's more work too.
Oh my God. You're just
All of it's
bum.
more work. Anyway, all right.
Let me do it. Teach me how to do it.
All right.
Yeah, I don't work.
You don't. You could be our editor. Fucking. All right.
And then one more, Climax. It's a movie about these guys that get
You said that already.
not Climax. Sorry, Chronicle. My bad. My bad.
Yeah,
the
bro,
C
you
one.
definitely said
Is it
that.
Yeah, like you just said that exact one actually. So
What did you say?
Chronicle.
Chronicle.
It's an old school found footage movie about these kids who get this.
Oh, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
Is it
Kid-
Chronicles or is that the second one?
There is no second one. Sadly, there's
It's a standalone. J.J. Abrams, right?
not J.J. Abrams.
No?
No, it's just
I'm thinking of Super 8.
You're thinking of Super 8 for sure. But yeah, Chronicle is like these kids. Michael B. Jordan's in it actually,
Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah.
forgot he's in that.
and
But,
they discover
yeah.
like this random
It's like
rock.
found footage kind of
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah, because the main character, the main antagonist, is carrying around a video camera because that's all his only friend kind of thing. So it's really sad in that way.
I mean, antagonist or protagonist?
He's the main character, so what is that? Antag or pro?
Well, antag is like the villain.
Good or evil?
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it. But
Pro
so
is
he's
for-
he's the main character.
for
Also
him.
becomes the villain. So maybe
Okay.
He's
So-
also.
I got it though.
He's also a Green Goblin in
yes,
Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield's Green Goblin. That same guy.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I don't never know his name. I just know him as Andrew from
know-
Chronicle.
Yeah, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Cool. I haven't seen that movie, but I've
check
heard
it
it's
out.
good. I've heard it's good.
Recommend for the pod.
it's good.
You guys.
For
We're
sure.
gonna do that.
What's that other one where the guys have the powers where every time they use it, they basically get closer to dying? Covenant?
Oh, the witch one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is Covenant.
Yeah.
Oh man, I have that
Cool.
actually.
Cool.
I found that one time.
I'm
on
glad
Sounds
that
cool,
like
though.
that movie's ridiculously.
Sebastian Stan alum.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
For a long time, Joey said that was the closest thing he could ever get to Dragon Ball Z, and I was like, that really is probably the closest thing that end
Yeah.
fight
That makes
at
sense.
the end of the movie.
Yeah.
It's a solid movie for the time.
it's not bad. Next question.
Yeah, sorry.
Any
Yeah.
questions? Next questions?
Yeah. You guys, obviously, Foley's already allegedly claimed the title of #1 fan
True.
of the pod. Justin, I don't
Pretty
know
much
how,
mine.
how active you are in listening, but I know you have listened in the past. You're familiar with the Entropy list. You're familiar? Are you familiar with how we re-rank the Entropy list? At least what we've done the past 2 years, and do our amendment episode on our anniversary episode.
I have heard the amendment episode. I heard the first amendment episode. if I
Okay,
recall
so you're
correctly.
familiar with the concept
Yes.
of like picking a movie and re-ranking it. What would you guys suggest? What have we gotten wrong? What would you go to the Entropy list and say, hey, I am going to petition for moving this up or moving this down? I have the entry list pulled up for you guys here. Feel free to scroll through. What is the amendment you would make? If you want a grid view to easier scroll, do you want the list? Is that
Nah,
easier
do
to see the
grid.
number?
It'll just be easier to scroll through it. We got 238 movies on this thing.
Yeah.
Also,
But-
congrats, but that's a lot of movies. You
There's a
know?
lot of movies, but I didn't make any of them, so I don't know why you're saying congrats.
Congrats on
Congratulate
talking about
them
the
who
guys who
actually
made those
do
movies.
shit.
Because we obviously have an influence on whether or not people watch these movies. So
Right,
Dude.
we are really
we have a massive,
driving up their numbers.
massive.
Man, I've watched
footprint.
they owe
movies.
us so much.
I've watched movies because of you guys, though. So
Well, no, and I appreciate that.
You're doing the Lord's work. It's not much, but it's honest work. You know.
Well, they're not paying us, so
See, it's free.
Wait, you're not getting paid?
dude, you think I was just stealing from you guys this whole time?
Nathaniel's been paying me this whole time.
You guys gonna get the free? You guys gonna get the free water bottles? No. Any orange juice?
This is nuts.
Well, Justin's making for a great podcast.
Maybe I should have prepped you guys for this question.
That's okay.
No, I'm good.
I can cut around this if we really feel
I have
that
something.
necessary.
I'm an avid #1 fan. Listens every day, every
I was
time
gonna say,
it drops,
if you know
so.
yours.
I think you guys pick on Zack Snyder's Justice League. Obviously, we talked earlier.
Oh my god, we're gonna die
your
on this
pick,
hill.
dude.
This is your first
That's-
episode, and
yeah,
you're gonna die
bro.
on this hill.
Last episode,
Not dying
too,
on
bro.
this
Like,
hill. I'm just saying, just please give us some cred.
What is it?
I would not.
You don't necessarily have to tell us where you would put it, but you can tell us at least what movie you would change and whether or not you move it up and down.
I would absolutely move Terminator 2 up from where
2
it's
up.
at for sure.
So valid.
You know,
T2.
and that is actually one of those movies. I kind of forgot this, and I can't even.
Where's it
forget
at?
It's at 37.
Dude, what are you talking about? Move up. That's such a great number.
That is a good number, but I honestly think it should be higher. It is one
Which
of those
is fine.
movies
Obviously, you know,
that
we all have like
stands
our-
the test of time, and it just you can always rewatch it. And if anybody talks about it, they always know what you're talking about, and they always say the same thing.
That's
enjoy it.
exactly how I feel about Back to the Future.
We all have nostalgia
I
picks
love
that we
Back
would
to the
put
Future,
higher.
by the way.
So
It's one of
fine.
my favorite movies.
So
as well.
good.
When I was a kid, I love that movie.
Yeah, that movie's
Boo to the third one.
Second one's good though.
So Jurassic Park
Second
is
one's absolutely best.
Jurassic Park is
You
up
think
high
it's-
enough for you.
You think 2 is better?
Yeah, I
than
do
1?
think Jurassic Park is up high enough for you guys, where you guys have put it at and everything. And you guys have made this huge list and everything. I absolutely think you guys have put it at where you guys feel it's at. But I mean, you know where that's at for me, and so I'm not gonna even bother trying to take.
Do you want to take this? Go ahead and take this. So you're not reaching all the way across the table.
No, is that if he moves it, is he gonna disconnect from the Wi-Fi?
That's a you question. Is he?
Are you Wi-Fi
do you have
resistant,
shitty
Ryan?
Wi-Fi?
No, it's just funny because
you thought-
he's like keeping it stationary and like obviously it's Wi-Fi.
Do you?
It's not cable.
You think 2 is better than 1? Back to the Future?
Yeah, I do think 2 is better than 1.
Wow. Okay.
And the only reason I really do think that's number 1, better
Hoverboards.
cast, awesome, much.
Cass is good.
The time period is obviously a much more fun one. The future
It
is a
is-
way more fun time.
Yeah, in some
than
ways, the
past.
second one is more iconic than the first one because people know the future, and like if and to be honest, I've even had this happen to movies that I show this to people too. It's like they Back to the Future, they go to the past in the first one. So, but like people always see clips from the second one because that's like what people always show. Like in 2015, when it was like, oh, this is the future from Back to the Future. Like I think people who haven't seen it like associated it with like, oh, that movie takes place in the future. It's like, no, it doesn't. The first one does, or the second one does. First one, they're going backwards. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's funny. And more like people would recognize the future more. So it's slightly iconic for that reason.
True.
I also think that's the one the TNT played like 1,000 times more than anyone other. one.
Probably.
Wish I could go
sure.
back in time, put some money on the Cubbies.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, right? Yeah. Which is crazy. They were only 1 year off when you think about it.
Hurry up, Ryan.
Yeah.
Are you guys waiting? I thought you guys were still on.
No,
Justin.
we
No, I
are
was,
still
that was,
making.
that was Phil for you to
we
go.
are still making witty banter, but
Yeah,
it
you
is.
were.
But
I
I
am
was
gonna
filling
yell at
for you, man.
Sorry.
Like, you hurry up. I'm just kidding. You take your time.
No.
Get up on
What
them.
would I move? What would I move? I mean, like you guys always say, like the first, like 100 something films aren't bad on this. You know what I mean?
Right? There's no bad
Some
answer.
top tier film there.
Top for sure. And like I said, you guys pick on Snyder's Justice League. I think Shang-Chi can get a little higher, get some disrespect. Not sure where it is, but where I should put it. I mean, I'm not sure, but I think it.
I honestly thought you would have some like better takes.
No, I
We're
don't.
talking about Shang-Chi.
All right, but you got to give me one. You got to give me one, and you say move it up to where?
Just shitting on you.
I don't know. I don't really.
Come on, man. You got to have one strong opinion. You got to have one where you're like, oh, that's way lower than I would have put it, or something like that. I mean, you listen.
I feel like these picks
to
are
almost
always
every
like
episode.
nostalgia picks. Like you
Right.
just have that one that like
like
you
Trick
would,
or Treat. I
lot
think
of them.
Trick or Treat's lit, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be higher
For sure.
for sure. I would dare say put it at closer to like Conjuring and all them, in my opinion. But
I don't know where they're at, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it deserves to be that high because it's a phenomenal movie.
right,
You guys overhyped that a little
Yeah.
bit. But
Mm.
could be some nostalgia
Mm.
because
Maybe,
the movie's
maybe.
old and you guys are old.
it's true. All facts.
High Tension, I think, needs to go higher. I'm kidding. I hate that
I mean,
movie.
I would have
hate
to-
that movie just as much as you.
Okay.
We can honestly just shit on it now that they're not here, dude.
Dude,
fuck that movie.
Fuck that movie, dude.
I like that movie though.
Yeah, of course you.
Sorry.
Of course you would.
Hilarious story. The first time I actually saw that movie, Ryan, me and Ryan saw that and watched it with a couple people. And Ryan
Is that the
was
first night you
the
guys
whole time.
kissed?
Ryan's mouth was open the whole time. And he was was actually shocked at the end. He was actually shocked at the ending. And
Spoilers.
Yeah.
That
I said
movie.
if you've listened to the podcast, you've heard the
Shocked.
one
We're-
about
yeah,
it.
dude, we're not allowed to give our
Yeah.
emotions about movies. Sorry.
That movie sucks, and I don't.
Why
feel
was
bad
it? Was
saying
it just because
not
of the
that
thing?
great.
It's,
It's really just
boring.
not that
It's
great.
not interesting, and nothing really happens.
Yeah, it's not scary.
It's not scary.
There really are no high tensions being built.
I never felt tense.
The whole
at all.
movie's high tension.
Nah, kind
Let
of
him
feels
call
like,
it that.
very low.
kind of feels like
tension.
mediocre tension.
Yeah.
It's not me. It's high. It's pretty high.
Nah.
No.
High blood pressure, maybe.
Yeah, the whole situation's a high blood pressure one. You know.
I need to be high to watch it. Maybe like
sure.
Maybe
sure,
maybe that
facts.
would have helped.
Yeah.
I have a kind of a hot take. I think The Shining's a little too high, if you ask me. It's a great movie.
Honestly,
It's a great movie, but it's a little too high.
When's the last
in
time you
my
watched
opinion.
it?
The Shining? I've
Yeah.
watched it every Halloween. Me and Alex tend
There's
to
no
watch
shot.
it every Halloween.
There's no
No,
shot.
absolutely.
Yeah, there's
dude.
no shot.
Yeah.
There's no shot.
all right.
watched-
I got one.
Now, how high?
I would put Dark Knight at 1 and then switch Dune to, not because I don't like Dune 2. I love Dune 2.
Dark Knight
But-
going 1.
1. Yeah.
That's a nostalgia pick, but that's fine. I
Yeah.
totally disagree, but
Yeah, I don't think I can do that. But
okay. You know, yeah.
is that your
it
favorite
is
movie?
it
of
is
all
a
time?
great movie.
Yeah. Not my favorite movie of all time. I don't have one.
Okay.
Maybe Big Fish with Ian McGregor and a bunch of other people.
Okay.
But that's my Entropy list of movies.
Big fish.
Do you think Shining should be outside the top 10?
Do I think The Shining should be out the set?
No way.
Not out the top 10. I don't.
No, but if I honestly had to push a movie out of the top 10 to push it, maybe something in its place, and then I'd take Get Out at the top 10. I'd put The Shining maybe at
That's
top
pretty
10.
wild.
You know
and
what I-
then I would honestly probably put...
We're at
I'd put
hour 40,
Alien.
by the way.
I would put Alien a lot higher. I think Alien's one of the best.
Alien.
Alien's dope.
It's
Alien's dope.
terrified me to the point as a child that I would never watch it again. And then I finally got the courage to watch it again when I was like 12. And definitely a great rewatch.
You know,
back on that horse.
no one asked, but as we talk about this top 10, you know what I want to move that I just not even gonna waste my breath on. Pan's Labyrinth needs to.
I know you don't like that movie. Not that you don't like
Not
it,
that
but
I don't
you just
like
don't
it,
think it's
But like
it's like
4
top
on
tier
this
film.
list, that's
I think it's
I don't know how
phenomenal
you guys
film.
pulled that one off because I don't know where
Because it was early.
It was early, and and I would suggest that change, but I need 2 out of 3 of you to
You would
approve it.
You,
and
it's
you
only
and-
going to be you and Blake.
You
yeah.
and Nathaniel are never gonna say yeah.
100%.
So it's like
Yeah.
stuck. And
Yeah,
so
You
that's
guys
a
wouldn't
lost
move it
cause.
for one of these other movies. I
It's-
mean, it's a
and-
great
yeah,
film,
and-
but come on.
No.
So
Top
It's like
4,
it's like such a
That's a nostalgia pick.
it's
for
like
you.
such a fairy tale movie to me. Like I can watch it like anytime.
and I would
and
I
it's
think I would
just-
enjoy it more if I rewatched it now because
Yeah.
that was early, and as I was saying earlier, like I was like so in a different spot with my movie
for sure.
takes and knowledge and everything
Yeah.
like that watching that the first time. So I'm
Yeah,
sure I would
dude.
enjoy it a lot
It's
more.
it's so good. I have like a hand drawn picture of the fawn
Yeah.
in like just pencil, and it's like it's such a good movie.
Yeah.
I'll probably have a tattoo of the fawn or something from Pan's Labyrinth at some point in my life.
You've grown though in your movies,
Thank
Adam.
you.
It's been nice.
Appreciate
As a
that.
listener, you've definitely grown for sure.
I appreciate
Adam, I would like to make a suggestion about not necessarily a question, but I would say my favorite podcast of ones that I've listened to so far that I wish I would have gotten to be on would be Starship Troopers. I totally
Same,
wanted to
same,
be
yeah.
on that
Yeah.
one.
That's
with you
cool,
guys.
yeah.
It's one of
Yeah,
those-
that's good.
those
even
movies.
even when like that movie got brought up and like when I showed it to Nathaniel, that's like what we would categorize under like a Big Brother movie or like a Big Cousin movie or like something that you watch because somebody older was like, we're gonna sit down and I'm gonna show you this movie, bud, because it's gonna be you're gonna learn today.
Yeah.
Change your existence, dude.
Well-
and I was so surprised, Nathaniel having the film lifestyle that he's had in the past. That when he told me he hadn't seen it, I'm
Mhm.
like, this is
Nuts.
gonna blow your mind, and I'm so excited I
Blew
get to
my
watch
mind.
this with you
Yeah.
in your adult life, and you haven't seen it.
That
so
movie
it's
is awesome.
a great movie.
That movie could arguably be much higher.
for sure.
oddly layered movie. That
So
as you
good.
got older, it got more and more
And every
layered.
rewatch, you'll get, it's so rewatchable too.
It's great.
Yeah.
Well, we're at an hour 42 right now.
I was
Damn,
just about
son.
to bring
We're
that
gonna-
up.
What are we on, Joe Rogan? Just joking.
It's 3 hours. We're only halfway through Joe's pod right now.
Honestly,
Let's protect our parks break right now,
He's like, let's grab some coffee.
Well, gentlemen, this
You
has
want
been
any
great.
fucking smelling salts?
Thank you for joining us, and thank you for covering for Blake and Nathaniel. Do you guys have some plugs? Do you have socials you want to plug at all? Letterboxd at least something.
I actually don't currently have socials that
That's
I want
fine.
to
That's probably healthy. That's probably healthy for you. I'm happy for you. You're in a better spot than me.
No socials, Letterboxd. So I don't know my Letterboxd name, but let me find it. So
Find it, plug it. Have people follow you if
Oh my god,
plug.
he's shaking,
Oh,
dude.
no.
He's shaking.
He's so nervous,
there's
bro.
no, I might get any service down here. Oh man.
Oh man, he moved it too much, bro. It's the
did.
Wi-Fi.
It is the
iPhone
Wi-Fi.
trash.
Yeah.
Samsung, bro.
trash.
Oh yeah.
You're the same
Yeah.
phone.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Funny how that works, huh?
But yeah, follow me on Letterboxd. If you can find the guys for him, you can find me.
I'm sure
on
he
there.
folloes the entropy list or something like
Yeah,
that.
for
That you
sure.
could probably.
You guys all
and it's
follow him, I
honestly
guess.
probably just Ryan Foley.
Fully on
I'm-
something.
I'm
Yeah.
not signed into my Letterboxd
That
on my
makes
work
sense.
computer, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to.
Well, maybe he'll
I
send
just-
it.
I
Maybe he'll
just
send it
read-
to us next week, and we'll just plug it for
I
him.
do like to write reviews. Like Blake and I kind of go back and forth on reviews. I just reached like 515 of my number of reviews on Letterboxd.
Oh, nice,
so
dude.
I'm trucking along.
Yeah.
Not just funny.
Maybe one day I'll give reviews. Right now, I'm just trying to stay consistent with rating,
Word.
which I have been really good about this
You
year.
have been better for sure.
Have you been seeing?
Yeah, for
okay,
sure.
I've been pretty good.
Yeah.
I've been making good habits of it, and I've been trying to use Letterboxd more.
Stuff only a number one fan would know. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
I mean,
True.
He makes a good case. But yeah, I've been trying to just rate more. So maybe one day I'll amp that up to reviews. I'd love to be like a one sentence review guy. You know,
I do like little one
Yeah.
just kind of like as the movie's going, just
Yeah.
throw a little note in there.
my
you know what I mean?
brother will like leave a full paragraph, and I don't know. I'm just like, I don't have that in me.
I
Just
believe
write a sentence.
Ryan's name is RC Foley Mon 18. So
Word.
RCFOLEYMON 18.
That's
All right.
me.
Go follow him there. You can follow me on Letterboxd as well at AYYSH. Twitter is H24, and I think that's all I'll plug for now. Show plugs, you can follow Back Row Banter on Twitter at Banter Row, on Instagram at Back Row Banter Pod, and our YouTube is just Back Row Banter. You can go subscribe to us there, even if it's not your primary place of listening. YouTube numbers going up recently, so good to see that coming along. And if you want to be like Mr. Ryan Foley here and have your email read out on the podcast, because I think there's maybe one or two other people that have written in. But if you want to get an email or something written out on the pod, you can leave a 5-star review or send us an email, backrowbanterpod@gmail.com. Tyler, plugs, what you got going?
You can find me on Instagram, Letterboxd, and X, all at Tyler Vidalis, VIDALES. And I think that's pretty much it. I think we're pretty good here. And, if you guys...
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you guys like this, kind of, we have other people on instead of just the main four. Obviously, we still have the main four on, but if you guys like special guests or anything like that, let us know. We obviously want to grow based on what you guys want to see or watch or listen to. So all feedback is good feedback. But
Absolutely.
that's all I got.
Yeah. Were you going to say something?
I was going to say thanks for having us on here.
Yeah.
I
It's been a
appreciate
fun
it.
time, man.
No problem. You guys have a good time?
Solid.
How- how's it wearing?
I just looked at my clock. I was like, holy shit. You know what I mean?
It's funny, right?
It flies by.
Flies
Yeah,
by,
it
for
flies,
sure.
flies by pretty quick.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you guys for joining us. And thank you for joining us, listeners / watchers. We're live on YouTube. We never said that.
I think we did in the beginning.
Did we?
Yeah, it's either
We did
it's
kinda-
either in pre-pod or I said something right off the bat when we started recording. I said we are actually recording this. So that's something
that's true.
different too. We talked
probably
about
mentioned it,
new
yeah.
background and everything like that. So I think it's on there. I think
All
we're
right,
good.
cool. Well, we got that down. We never talked about Last Breath, really. We can
Yeah,
do it
we
next-
didn't.
You know what? We can talk about it.
We
for a
can,
few
yeah, because
minutes next week or
the boys
something.
did watch it.
Yeah, everyone
so
watched it.
We can.
So if you watched it too, listeners, we'll get around to it.
Yeah, we'll just do like a quick little like what we
Yeah.
thought, and then we can rank it because we all watched it, and
Yeah.
then we can just get into Mickey.
Yeah,
17
next week's review, Mickey
So,
17. Go check that out this weekend, and then join us for our review next week. I think that's gonna do it here for Bit of Sizzle. I don't know what I'll call this, but join us for Mickey 17 next week. We'll be RB. Well, we don't wave. You just ruined it.
So used to just hearing like
Fucking amateurs, you know.
So used to hearing the closeout music. I didn't like.
America.
He doesn't clap that loud.
Do you remember when I had just dislocated my shoulder?
Yes.
And
Yeah,
we did like our first in-person ep, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna clap, and then I clapped, and mid-clap I was like, I shouldn't. What did I just do? And then it was one of the most painful things.
It's great.
And then I have it on camera, and I just like winced really hard. I'm like, I can't just like scream out in pain right now. And then I was just like,
Can't move.
I probably should have done that.
Fully committed. Appreciate it.
I did. You know what? Put your blood, sweat, and tears into your passion. You know.
Quite literally.
Quite literally.
Quite literally.
This is weird without headphones in person, I will say.
It is kind of weird without headphones.
And also new space.
Totally new space.
New space, new friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're watching the video, which we are having, which is pretty cool. Yeah, you know, we got our logo back there.
Any of those people. I'm not any of those people.
He's not.
No.
The two people in the middle of the screen are not any of the people on the TV screen behind them.
Oh.
Nope.
You know
we
what I
are
just
minus
realized?
those two people.
This is the old version of that logo where I still have my sunglasses on.
Yeah, it's okay. A little throwback.
Yeah, a little bit. It's retro now.
Yeah. People will just think that we've been.
You gotta get so much closer.
You
I
kind of
just
look like
can't-
Johnny Cage in that, which is giving you way too much credit, but you do look like Johnny Cage there.
Very Johnny Cage vibes.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
do you know who Johnny
It
Cage
is.
is?
It is a
Yeah,
compliment.
from Mortal Kombat.
Ah, yeah,
yeah.
cool. Cool.
Who do you think I am? You
Well,
think I'm that uncultured? You wouldn't be hanging out with me if I was
Sometimes.
that uncultured.
I don't know. You said some wild ass shit in the past that I was like, should I? Are we gonna continue hanging out?
What, my political takes? You want to get into that right now? I'm just kidding.
Your early episodes of the pod, for sure. For sure.
You know, here's the thing. I think back on those, and I'm like, all right, well, one, how can I feel that bad?
Did we make a
about
mistake?
it? I was 19 technically when we recorded our first episode. First
You're
of
a
all,
kid.
straight up a kid, didn't
Just
know
a
what I was doing.
baby.
Also, not even that. Like, I think about when we started recording this podcast, I was not nearly as like educated on movies, both through talking about them every week and just looking at it from an analytical perspective. But then after we started the podcast, I picked up a journalism minor and then basically switched my major to like film production. So yeah, just like crazy to think about where that started. And then also I remember the second episode we did was like a hot takes episode. Second or third episode we did was the hot takes. And I was just intentionally just being like, oh, like it's a podcast, it's entertainment. Like let's just throw some controversial stuff out there that like I half believe in and just like run with it. So I think in that episode, one of my hot takes is Kylo Ren is a better villain than Darth Vader.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
Yeah.
dude.
And it was more
Erroneous
just
take.
coming from a place. What'd you say?
That's a ridiculous take.
No, it is. It absolutely is. But that more came from a place of like, I like Kylo Ren, but this is gonna be a fun thing to
Yeah, for
say.
sure.
And it pissed everybody off as it should. And looking back on it, I don't like actually believe that.
There's no way anybody could.
That's very Kylo Ren of you if you think about it.
But you're right, it is. Maybe it's just I see myself in him. You know, maybe it's just me and Adam Driver, the whole name recognition thing. You know.
You just throw temper tantrums when you don't get your way with a lightsaber in your
Well,
hand.
when I was younger, if you ask my brothers, yeah, pretty much. I had the plastic lightsaber. I would hit
and
them
just
with it.
Beat the shit out
Well,
of
the
them.
two older brothers. I mean, you had to have some kind of.
I was defending myself.
Genuinely. I mean, you had to have some kind of defense. Like my one brother is 6 years older than me. The other one's 4 years older than me. I mean, they had size on me my entire life up until like I was taller than them at maybe sophomore year of high school. And then they were like, when the fuck did this happen? They came home from college. They were like, the fuck?
What is going on? Why are you growing?
Yeah. Then
Yeah, I got mine like freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
Sprouted.
Yeah, it was nutty. I was like, no. And then I just stopped growing. and,
Well, I was just about to ask, when are you going to get yours? Or
I'm still wishing it will happen. I'm not too sure when it's going to happen, but I'm still hoping that I'll get at least a little taller.
well, I'm praying for you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think I'm still growing.
Yeah, you told me that one time. You said
a-
you
as a
were
person.
you thought you were going through another growth
Both
spurt.
spiritually, mentally, and physically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I drink a lot of milk, and my wife and I have this argument quite a bit. And you know, she's like, "You're not growing. You're 34," and I'm like, "I don't know. I like sometimes when I go to bed and I wake up, I get like knee pains, and I'm like, I think those are growing pains. Like that's what I remember. Those my shins hurt. My My patellas are sore sometimes.
Let me
and
tell you, I don't think that's what you think it is, man.
My-
I think
my
that's the
femur-
opposite thing happened.
My femurs feel like they're growing. So I feel like it's just my whole bone structure is still just growing as a whole.
You might need to go to the hospital, I think. Just a little.
Yeah, you might need some help.
I'm planning on being like 6'4" by like next year. So
It's
we'll
achievable,
see.
for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I put it
achievable.
on my goals board and
Your vision
I
board?
just add like like a little extra shin in the picture, and
Okay.
I put like a little ruler next to me, and it's 6'4".
Well, you can get those surgeries where
Yeah,
they
no,
will-
I'm doing I'm natural. I'm a natty.
okay.
Yeah,
All natural.
Yeah.
I respect it though. I respect it.
I'm a natty grower.
Physically impossible. Physically impossible.
You guys ever see that South Park episode where they did make himself taller by getting that knee surgery?
Yeah, that's also a
and
real
they
thing
used
now.
a scrotum to
Yeah.
make it bigger, and then his dad turned himself into a dolphin.
Yeah, I don't know if the process is the same, but the concept is like people are legitimately like breaking their bones and basically spreading them apart slowly to make them grow, and then they have like terrible knee problems later. It's the worst. Like, why would you ever do that?
It's just not there yet.
Just be a short
like
king.
the science isn't.
We're cool with it. Most girls are, girls are turning on short kings now too. So, just be you, just stay you, my guy. Don't grow yourself. Let yourself it's either natty grow or don't,
This coming from the perspective of someone who's been 6'2" for how long now? Like,
I-
can you have
So,
a take
like,
here? I
again,
don't
like-
feel like I'm qualified to speak on what short people should be saying. Like, I've been very privileged to be
yeah,
6'2".
but I want them to be, I want them to feel okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Rob just sent a video for Waffle Wednesday, and it's fucking Friday. Thanks, Rob. Shout out, Rob.
Love you, Rob.
You know what? That's a sign to check on him because he thinks it's Wednesday, and that's
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Justin's. I think we've been doing this for like I don't
We'll be a
know,
little late. All right.
4 months
You'll get
now.
mine
Once
tomorrow.
a week, maybe. Well, I'll say 3 months now. Once a week, and probably for the past like month, it's turned into just Foley and I sending videos back and forth to one another. So
Not knowing we're gonna mention each other in our videos, like, hey, like it's probably just gonna go to Tyler. Same
Yeah.
thing here.
it's the greatest.
I sometimes just like to watch the videos and not come back with anything because I don't really know what to say sometimes.
That's not okay.
But I do see what I do try. I'm getting better at it.
Yeah, I know.
I've been a lot more consistent.
I know. Just say you have nothing to say. It's still good to
It's
say
good to know
hi.
we're alive, right?
you just
Good to
gotta
know.
you gotta master the art of the reaction to
Yeah.
the text. You
True.
know, like you don't have to reply every time. A ha is good enough.
True.
And in fact, ha-has have taken over like the main way I get my dopamine is like group chat reactions in like my 2 or 3 chats that I have. Like,
That's true.
like
Yeah.
that's a good. I get good.
That's where you get your
entertainment out of
dopamine
that.
hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My Noah too. He was just an addict to our fraternity group chat in college, just shit posting constantly, memes all day of like fraternity
Love it.
brothers and stuff like that. He's a master meme lord in terms of like the group chat commentary. It's good. He's good at it.
That's the greatest. Ryan, real quick, if you hear us like moving our mics, please let us know.
10-4, Roger that.
Just because it
and
can get
yell at
annoying
him if he
sometimes.
needs to be louder.
Word.
Yeah,
and
because
yell
you're the
at-
only one making headphones.
Yell at
or
Nathaniel
wearing
watching
headphones.
at home.
Good to see you guys.
No, yell at him.
No.
Nathaniel, we're supposed to yell at you, but you're supposed to pack another mic. That might have been my fault. I'm not.
It
very
really isn't
consistent,
even the.
But
it
we
really
do
isn't
love
even
you
the-
still, and thanks, man.
Yeah, it's not even the microphone. It's the 1/4-inch adapters for the headphones. Which again, we don't move this thing
part of
around
it.
a lot, so
You guys
I
have
totally
sounded
get
pretty
it.
good so far. You guys are rocking.
All right, cool.
I totally get it. But apparently, when people aren't on this podcast, you make fun of them. So we're making fun of you quick, but we do love you, and I'll give you a kiss on the forehead next time I see you.
Can't say I'll do the same, but I'll dap you up. I'll do something.
Let the record say he did say yes.
Anyways, like full circle about like me still growing. Like when I met Nathaniel, I was 6'2", and then he went to the doctor, and they were like, "You're like 6'2" and like a little bit more," and I was like, "Well, I'm taller than you, so like, am I 6'3" now?" And this was only like maybe like a 2-year gap, so that's where I think I'm still growing. So,
Wait, how long ago was that?
I think like my last year playing volleyball.
So it's like what
3 years ago,
3
maybe
years ago?
3 years ago.
You haven't
Yeah.
been to the doctor since to like get yourself measured?
Oh, dude, I haven't been to the doctor in so long.
I can't say much about that because I haven't been to like a general like practitioner kind of doctors for like a general checkup in quite a long time. Go to like dentist, eye doctor every
Yeah.
year, those kind of things. You got to get those done.
I mean,
But,
my
like,
eyes are pretty good, and
mine
I know
are
people are like, well, how do you know if you've never been? I've legitimately never been to an eye doctor.
You should really absolutely go, dude. There's more things to check than just like how well you can see, right? Like
No, peripherals are good.
that's
It's all we're all good. Stigmatism is good. I don't have a problem with lights. We're good.
Are you
Like I've
sure
got
you're
high
good, or are you
eye
just telling
pressure. Like
yourself
I've got to get
you're
that
good?
shit checked every year. Like there's things that
I don't know what that means.
But you
High
know what?
eye
I'm not-
pressure.
the pressure
Sam,
and
My eyes feel
Okay.
good.
All right, yeah.
They feel good. I don't feel pressure.
I
I'm not
don't.
very good at that though myself.
Really?
I'm gonna bet that all four of us are probably absolutely terrible about going to the doctor.
Just like I go to the dentist and I go to the eye doctor all the time. Like every year for eye doctor, twice a year for dentist. I just don't go to like a general doctor every year for general checkup.
Yeah,
I would go if I like felt like there was something wrong. I
Yeah.
should probably go sometime this year. I've been meaning to.
I'll
but
tell
I've
you,
been doing that for
don't
3
wait
years.
until something's wrong. Not that I'm
Right.
saying
You're
that something's
preventative.
wrong,
No,
but like
you're
I
right.
wish, like this is like something Leah and I have been getting more into. We're like, dude, we should just go to the doctor on a regular basis. Kick tires, change the oil, and it's just because like
No,
not that
you're-
I feel bad,
right.
but like it's just gonna pay off later.
Pain in the butt,
You're
but
right.
just
No,
Peace
yeah,
of mind.
and I have nothing. It's not like I'm not actively resisting going to the doctor.
Yeah.
It's just like I
It happens.
forget to do it, and also like I don't
That's
really.
literally life.
I also have to. I don't. It's not like I have a doctor to go to. I would have to go and find what doctor I want to go to. Like
Yeah,
I don't have
sure.
an existing adult general
100%.
practitioner to go to.
It's the same thing.
And I don't feel like going through the process of finding one I like or a good one. And like my dad has one, and he had one that
start
I
it
went to
now
once.
because if you don't do it now, you're gonna be a decade down the road, and you're like, man, I really should have gone to the doctor.
I'll
Yeah,
go soon.
speaking from somebody who would know,
Yeah.
definitely get it done.
All right. All right. At what age do they stick a finger up your butt? What is that?
40,
Sorry.
I think.
we don't talk about that until our 40s.
All
We
right.
don't do
Yeah.
it. We
I
don't.
got some
Can't.
time.
And I think things have changed
Getting
now. I think
too
they don't
close.
even like do like the whole like
I don't know.
prostate exam. I think they just full blown like schedule a colonoscopy and just take a look at everything while they're in there and then call it a day.
Call it a day. Colonoscopy is not a light thing, from my understanding.
Yeah, but like I think they've come to the sense of like I don't need to put my finger in your ass and then stick a camera up there because I felt something with my finger. We're just gonna check it all at once.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
get all done in one fell
100%. Because
Yeah.
odds are one's gonna lead to the other. So they're
Got
just
it.
like, let's just shoot her down and call it a day.
All right. Well,
I don't know if that's a thing, but I feel like
I was about to ask.
I feel like
I
that's
can't
like
wait to hear how your experience goes.
Yeah, no, I feel
Well,
like
actually,
that's
you're
the
the oldest one
progression.
here, so I can't wait to hear how you're.
This guy, yeah,
How old are you?
37.
37.
42. No,
We're both 37, but you're like,
I just got my colonoscopy yesterday. I'm just
How was it?
Yeah. On this episode,
Foley's colonoscopy.
we're watching the movie. we're reviewing the video footage of Ryan's
First guest in his
colonoscopy.
colonoscopy video.
It could probably look
it's like
Dune
no. It's
3.
like, did you guys see that SNL skit? Did I send it to any of you guys, or at least to Tyler in our group chat of SNL? They did like a doctor's medical podcast. Who was the guest star? I can't remember who the guest star that was that week. But it was like a podcast where they get you to be more honest in the doctor's office by putting you on a podcast with doctors.
Yeah, I do.
And
Yeah,
it's like
I
talking.
do remember this.
It's like, so man, how are your shits these days? Or
Yeah.
like something along those lines. That's what that would remind me of. Like,
Yeah,
hey Ryan,
for
how's your
sure.
colonoscopy going? What do we have to look forward to? All right, I'm gonna
Unreal.
check the camera recording and
For
then
sure.
we can get started for real.
Speaking of SNL, Shane Gillis's new skit that came out.
I haven't seen the couple of
commercial?
beers. The couple of beers.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Dude, that was. Oh, I'm sorry if I just tugged.
you're good. You
I'm
didn't tug
sorry if that, but I think that skit was a little overrated. It was funny.
I thought it was funny as shit.
It was funny, but like it wasn't like the greatest SNL skit or any. I don't know. It wasn't like one of the best ones I've seen even this season.
I don't watch a lot, and I
see
love
clips.
Shane
Oh,
Gillis.
yeah.
But yeah, I
SNL
think
pops up in
it's
my
just like
feed.
one of those things that like I don't know, growing up in like fucking Midwest Illinois, like that's just like you can see that playing out in like so many families, or like, you know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things that maybe is just a little bit more
That's
relatable.
true. That's true.
But yeah, it's
The
just funny
baseball
as shit.
the baseball bit got me a little
Dude.
bit. That was funny.
You can't be bad at school and sports. And then later he's like, "Hey, love you, buddy."
Yeah.
He's just hammered at his kids' game.
Yeah.
The little bump.
The little bump
destroyed
I was just about to say,
me.
The little bump was pretty good.
I thought it was so funny. But yeah, we can.
Yeah, it was a good app.